You want to talk to
Are
me?
you gay or no?
You want to talk
Answer
to
me,
me?
I'll talk to you.
Hold on a second.
Answer to me.
You want to talk
Are you
to
gay?
me?
Are you gay?
So because you're here to talk
you
to
gay?
me, the person who cannot control their emotions, my sand monkey, come back.
Fuck off, big man.
Sand monkey, come back. My sand monkey, come back.
He's a kid, bro.
My kid sand monkey's gone. Oh, what a shame. Anyway, so, like I was saying, these mu'minun pagans, these people cannot control their emotions. They are extremely feminine. For some reason, they want to encourage bad behavior. How on earth can that be the case?
Another one.
This guy wants to kiss him.
You're gonna come and have an intellectual
This guy wants to kiss him. So, I am open. Now, mu'minun, you violent monkeys.
So he's right.
I am happy to debate any of you
So he's right.
on why you guys encourage bad behavior and evil. The Bible says, woe to those who call the things that are evil good. Why do you all want evil to prevail? What is wrong with you all? What a shame, what a shame. Anyway, back in the corner. I came late today though. But I'm here to debate if anyone wants to debate. So let's see where it goes.
And he's generalizing this. I'm trying to de-escalate
Yes.
things, and he's generalizing.
That's a lie.
I pulled him out.
This guy came here to encourage him to fight.
Like this.
You're recorded. Don't worry, my friend. You're recorded saying the following.
You're weird. That's a fact.
This guy
You're a
was on
weird guy.
camera saying the following.
You're a weird guy.
He encouraged him to fight. He told me what was I going to do. So this guy here was goading his little sand monkey on in order to fight me. Now he's come back claiming that he wants peace. My friend, you can't spell peace. I'm sorry. You have an issue where you are dishonest.
Can you take that back?
You're dishonest, and all you want to do is encourage violence. And then come back later, like a hypocrite, and claim that you're trying to be peaceful. My friend, don't be hot or cold. Don't sit on the fence. You can either be on the side of evil or on the side of good. Allow your actions to align with whatever side you choose. I would urge you, quiet, quiet. No, I was here and you came to me. If my breath smells, then run away. No, don't worry. It hurts because I'm telling you who you are. I'm telling you that you're on the wrong path, and that you're. Yes, I know the following about you.
What's my name?
You're a hypocrite.
What's my name?
You are a liar, and you are a son of Satan.
Have you ever had a
because
conversation
all
with me?
you want multiple times, you run from me each time, and you will do today again. That's how much I know you. Now, my son of Satan, you need to become a son of God. You need to abandon whatever path you're on and follow Christ instead. Because Christ wouldn't encourage some random kid to fight somebody. When I am trying to tell him, quiet,
I'm not gonna be angry like the other guy here.
You were angry with me the entire time.
Finish what you said.
You were pointing your finger in my face. You were trying to kiss the other kids. My friend, I'm sorry. You are a hyper-violent person, and you want to encourage violence. You get a kick out of violence, but whenever it's time to debate somebody, use your intellect and your words, you run. And that's why every time I talk to you, you end up running away. You cannot handle a conversation. I don't even know why you come to this corner. If you're here to fight alone, go to a cage somewhere and fight like an animal. If you're here to talk, exchange ideas, maybe learn something, then use the mouth and intellect that God gave you for something other than encouraging some stupid kid who wants to come here and cause chaos to continue doing what he's doing.
It is, man.
The floor is yours. Let's see what you can do. You use those words of yours.
I have nothing to say.
Oh, what a surprise! The mu'minun has suddenly become mute.
I don't need to respond to anything.
Oh no!
Nothing.
Oh no!
You can make
And look,
claims.
he doesn't have to respond to me, but he's responding to me. Oh,
I'm
let's
gonna say
go.
something to you before I leave.
But you don't have to respond. You said you don't have to respond, but you're responding.
Can I say one thing before I leave?
So then you just lied about your intention previously.
Okay, forgive me for lying.
Again, you have the floor. Now please, use your mouth and intellect. And try not to contradict yourself in the first sentence. Go ahead.
Okay. I don't need to respond to any...
And then you'll respond to me. Okay, go ahead.
I don't need to respond to any names you've called me.
But you're going to.
I don't care about all
I see.
When someone's saying to you he doesn't want to speak to you, walk away. Simple as that. This is... Anyone here can speak to whoever they want. I don't need to respond to you. I don't need to have a debate with you. I don't need to have an intellectual debate
and you're doing it.
When people don't want to speak to you, you need to back off.
And
you follow everyone like.
But then you came to talk to me.
You're a suspicious guy. If someone says I don't want to speak to you, walk away.
But then you came to talk to me.
That's my advice to you.
So you're doing the very thing you told me not to do.
And I'm not going to stay in your face
so
for 20 minutes.
Both times,
walk away.
Because you can't handle me. Both times you came into my face. Yes. We're talking, but you only know so many words. The Mu'minun people. These are the Mu'minun. What a jolly bunch they are. Violent, hypocritical, absolutely inept, incapable of holding a conversation. God pray for them. Oh, we have another one. Hijab's husband, come back. Hijab's husband, come back. Okay, so I have Hijab's husband in the corner who says that I was crying, but now he runs away. That was fast. Hey, I'm back. I'm back. Well, it is what it is. Then come back. Yeah, then come talk about it. All right. See you later. Who's left? Huh? Which gentleman? Rebirth, as in like he became a Muslim or became a Christian? Oh God. Well.
I'm speculating.
On what?
It's just a speculation. Basically.
On what?
Whether you're Christian, Jewish, whatever you are.
In front of the camera.
Yeah, both of you.
In front of the camera.
I don't understand anything about religion.
Then why are you saying?
I'm just
so,
if you don't understand.
Could it also just be that you're speculating yourself?
Yeah, I don't claim anything. So
you're speculating.
Well, you would claim something.
I'm not speculating.
You would claim something.
No. So what do you mean by speculating?
You would claim you exist, for example. You would claim that your family exists. You know, you claim something.
Okay, so I don't know anything about Christianity, Islam, Judaism, whatever it is. Right? You're claiming what are you?
I'm a Christian.
Okay, so you believe that in the future there's going to be X, Y, and Z, whatever, right? You're going to go to heaven.
Please describe X, Y, and Z. Why I believe in like an afterlife? Sure thing.
So you believe like you're going to go to heaven in the future, right?
I hope so.
Okay. So you don't have any evidence, so you're just speculating.
So we do have evidence. However, it depends upon what kind of evidence you're looking for. Don't forget, for separate topics, you have separate kinds of evidence for them, right? So for example, you can't use, you can't use mathematics to prove that...
Predict the stock market.
You can't use mathematics to prove that pizza smells nice, for example, right?
So you can't use maths to predict the stock market.
So you hear my example. You can't use mathematics to prove that pizza smells nice.
No, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, exactly.
Can you use
hold on a
maths
second.
to predict the stock
Let me
market?
help you out. Do you know why what I say doesn't make sense? There's certain kinds of evidence that you would expect for certain kinds of things. Are you out or you?
No, I'll be right back. My camera's down.
Cool. So, yeah, let me know. When we say heaven,
before we go any further,
hold on a second. You asked a question before, so I'm going to answer you, and then you can ask the other one.
I know where you're going.
So, you asked about heaven. Yes, we have evidence of heaven. But the evidence of heaven is not empirical evidence. Because don't believe that heaven is an empirical place. There you go.
Which makes you a speculator.
It does not. Because like I told you, you're using the wrong instruments. So do you know what I mean by empirical evidence?
That there is God up there.
Do you know what I mean by empirical evidence, by the way?
Alright, so do you believe 100% that there's God up there?
I don't think you understand what I said.
Do you believe a 99% or 100%?
So do you concede your first point, or do you want me to move on to the different points? Because
So
you made a first point.
I'm here to
Yeah,
ask
but
you.
you made a first point.
So you're supposed to educate me, right?
Yes, but
When it comes to
I'm
religion.
educating you.
Alright,
in
so I'm
steps.
asking you, you answer me.
Okay, so
So
what
do you
was my last answer?
Okay.
Let's make sure you're listening, right? Because I'm educating you today.
Okay.
What was my last answer to your question?
So that doesn't make any sense. Let me just answer
Great.
this.
So you're not actually here to listen. You're here to just raise questions without receiving answers.
Because I asked you first question, you didn't want to answer.
What-
I'll ask you a second one.
What was the first question?
Okay.
What was it? Do you remember?
Let's
Do you
not
remember?
make this complicated.
Can you remember the first question?
Okay, let's not.
So
Yeah, are
you
a
forgot your own first question.
No, I said you're a speculator.
That's not a question.
That's a statement.
That's just a statement.
Yeah.
What was your question?
Okay, so my question is.
No, look, your
you
first
believe-
question. What was it? The first one. You forgot. You asked me, do I believe in so and so?
Can I speak?
And by so and so, you meant heaven.
Can I
I
speak?
said yes. You then asked, do I have any evidence of this?
Right.
And then I was telling you about kinds of evidence. And you forgot that.
Can I speak now?
All right, well,
Can I speak?
I'm going to assume that you've conceded that yes, there is a heaven, and there is evidence for that heaven. The evidence is not empirical. Now what? Now what?
Can I ask you a
What's
question?
next?
Okay, so I can speak.
Okay.
So do you believe a 95% God exists, or do you believe 100%?
Can't quantify it. I'm convinced. As simple as that.
So you don't know if it's 100% or 95%?
It depends. Do you believe 100% that you exist? As in, do you ever doubt any time of the day you exist?
I believe I exist, yeah.
Yeah,
There's
but
evidence.
can
I'm
you
here.
put a percentage on this?
I'm here.
Can you put a percentage on it?
I have evidence. I'm here.
Can you put a percentage on it?
Yeah, 100%. I'm here.
Okay, you're 100% sure you're here. Yeah. Okay, and then what for you qualifies that?
I cannot predict the stock market. What it's gonna do in the future. I don't know.
Are you 100% sure on that?
All right. So if you speak to an economist,
okay,
they speak with certainty. If you speak to an investment
not
banker,
necessarily.
Most of them they speak
speculation
with certainty.
is a huge part of economics.
Right. So if you speak to someone who's like you, religion guy,
okay,
they speak with certainty, right? Which you're doing right now. You're speaking with certainty.
Okay, I can also speculate
that
too.
God exists.
Yes.
When I ask you if it's a 95% or 100%, you can't.
I told you it can be quantified because for some reason there are various amounts of degrees of belief somebody will have in a certain thing. So you cannot quantify exactly how much you believe in a certain thing.
Are you sure you're certain that it's God up there?
I am convinced. As I am convinced that anything else. Huh?
Because somebody convinced you.
Somebody would have to tell you something, right? In order for you to make sure that you know something. So, for example, you believe in the stock market not because you discovered it. Someone told you.
No, I don't believe in it. I just think it's a probability game.
Does it exist?
Yeah.
Okay. And you just found it by chance in the wild or someone told you about it?
No, I'm using my own analysis, my own judgment, but I never
So you were analyzing nature
and
came across the stock market?
I only think because of X, Y, and Z, because of these fundamentals, because of this, there's a high probability something's going to happen, but I still don't know.
So you're speaking about predictions.
Yeah.
So
What
predictions are not the only way that you ascertain what is true.
Yeah, but you...
Right?
Okay, so
predictions in the stock market, for example, can't help you understand if World War II happened, for example, right? Exactly. What you're doing is...
You have no idea what you're talking about.
I do, because you're conflating topics.
No.
Why do you think that the stock market or analysis of current events and future projections is the only way of telling what's true?
About, my friend? So you say the stock market can help me understand what happened in World War II?
I said the opposite, in fact. It can't help you. Do you hear that part?
It can help me. It can't help me.
C-A-N apostrophe with a T.
Okay, so you say it can't. Okay.
Okay? So different methodologies for different things. Okay?
Okay.
So, can the stock market or predictions
you still believe that you're going to go to heaven?
If you recall, I said I hope so.
Yeah, you believe with certainty that you're going to go to heaven.
So I've said I hope so twice.
You predict in the future.
So I've said I hope so twice. And you carry on saying that I certainly believe I'm going. Do you know what I hope so means, by the way?
Okay, so
do you know what that means?
You just think there's a high probability, right?
Hang on a second.
No,
do you know what that means?
Do
you know what that means, by the way?
What?
Do you know what I hope so means?
I hope so.
Do you know what that means? I can tell you if you want to know.
Okay, so you're not sure 100%. That's good. That's good. You know, that's a good way of thinking.
That's
so
good.
you're
Okay.
speculating.
Right.
That's fine.
Okay.
That's good. Yeah. So if you say I'm a speculator, that's good. You know. Just don't speak
I
with
am
certainty.
convinced
If you speak with certainty, then I'll think that
I
you
can
don't know what
speak
you're
with
talking
certainty because I am convinced of a worldview. And because I'm convinced of that worldview that I can share with you, I hold to the evidences and the stipulations of that worldview. I am convinced in the Christian message. Absolutely, yes, I have been convinced by it. In the same way that everything else that you know and hold dear was convinced by somebody else. You didn't go in the wild and understand that like your mother is your mother, right?
Hello, David.
Hello.
Good to see you. Long time.
I've been on holiday, but I'm back.
Okay.
Lovely to see you.
All right.
You didn't go in the wild and find that out. You didn't go in the wild and discover mathematics. You were taught these things and convinced of them.
So
you didn't go in the wild and discover morality.
Okay.
You were taught these things. So it's okay to be taught things. It's fine.
If it's about the future, if I don't have any evidence, right, nobody can convince me of anything.
Okay.
If it's in the future.
Luckily, as a Christian,
right,
I would say we have evidence to tell us that in the future.
If somebody tells me Apple exists and I see it, I touch it, I feel it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that is the empiricist worldview, where only things that can be touched can be proven to exist. But in the same way, you believe in things that are transcendental. Like, for example, you have dreams, but you can't touch them. So are they real, or are they just completely imaginary? You have aspirations, you believe in numbers, but you can't touch those things either. So how can you prove that one exists?
With a speculation about what's going to happen
because
in the
there are things that are transcendent, right? So not everything is physical. You agree with that, right?
If I have a dream, that is something that I just want to achieve one day.
But did that actually happen?
You know, like.
Did it happen?
Yeah, but it's not a speculation.
No, I mean not as a dream, as an aspiration. As in you go to bed and you dream of something.
Yeah.
You can't touch that dream. So did it actually happen?
If I believe that one day I can become a footballer, I know these footballers
No,
are there.
my friend,
I know it can happen.
you're using the wrong context of dream. I don't mean aspiration. You go to bed and you have images playing in your mind. A dream, like nightmares and dreams. Can you touch those things?
I'm just talking about.
If the answer is no, then that means that you believe in things that are transcendental as well as things that are physical at the same time.
No,
the universe isn't just one way.
That doesn't make sense.
Everything isn't just physical.
I don't agree with you. I think you have no idea what you're talking about.
Can you touch the air? Does the air exist?
You're running from one thing to another.
I'm not. I'm giving you examples of things that are transcendental or that are metaphysical.
You speculate that in the future you're going to go to heaven. That is a speculation. Don't tell me you're certain 100%.
It's an aspiration.
Okay.
I aspire to go to heaven.
We are just talking about one thing here. Okay, and you're trying to avoid it.
Can you define speculation? Just so I can make sure.
Speculation is gambling, let's just say. You're speculating about something that's going to happen,
So you use the word to define the word.
Yeah, speculation is basically you speculate something that's going to happen based on some analysis.
So I still don't know what that means because you're using the word to define the word.
Speculating. You are basically speaking with certainty. So if you say I'm a speculator,
I don't know what that word means. Help me. I don't know what that word means. I don't know what that word means. Can you help me out with the definition?
Because for me, you're a speculator.
What does that mean? Because all you've told me is a speculator is somebody who speculates. That doesn't really help me know what the word means.
I believe that you're a speculator.
What's that mean?
But you saying I have evidence.
What's a speculator?
Certainty.
I know what it is, but what is it for you? I'm just curious.
Okay, so speculator is somebody who speculates about, let's just say, what's going to happen tomorrow.
What does the word speculate mean?
I just told you, speculator is someone like a gambler.
So a speculator is a gambler.
Well, speculator is like a high probability compared to the gambling is 100% random.
So a speculator is somebody who has a high probability of something happening.
Yeah, like if you speculate about the future, if you're a speculator, you analyze something, but it has a high probability compared to the gambler who is basically dealing with 100% randomness.
So speculations are analysis of the future, but only those events that have a high probability of happening.
Yeah, but it's still not 100%.
Right.
It's still not 100%.
What would make it 100%?
Evidence?
Right, but what evidence would you use to define things to occur in the future?
Like, for example, like what? Give me an example.
Well, I don't know, you tell me. Because you said that what a speculator needs to be 100% sure is evidence.
Yeah.
What kind of evidence?
I cannot really know for sure that you're going to die tomorrow, for example, or I'm going to die tomorrow.
Based on what evidence?
I don't know. I have no idea what's going to happen to you tomorrow. What's going to happen to me tomorrow?
Okay.
So that is, I can speculate.
Right.
But still, there's not 100%. There's not 100% certainty on that.
And then, what mechanisms or metrics are you using to speculate?
About what?
About me dying tomorrow, for example.
Age. Like I feel like, like if you're like a 95, you smoke. Like you're showing some kind of symptoms, I can say, maybe there's like 2% chance that you. Well, if I say between for the next 2 years, that has a high probability because that's like 2 years and you're 96, symptoms. But if I say tomorrow, there's a very short period of time, so I can't, that would bring it down to like 2%. But it's not 100%.
I think we've made some progress here. So you didn't define speculation, but at least you were able to actually.
What is speculation to you?
Well, I'll define it in a second. But we made some progress here. You actually were able to conjure up some mechanisms or some markers to suggest that something will happen in the future based upon things that you can maybe measure or that you know about. Age, health, habits like smoking. Right? So, in the same capacity, I also have some level of certainty that there is a heaven, that there is an afterlife, based upon evidences that I have also been able to perceive,
I like what you're saying more.
logical evidences.
Go ahead, yeah.
Well, that's what I've saying the whole time. Logical evidences.
Starting to make sense now. Go ahead.
Well, it's just very thinking, which is great. Yeah. Logical evidences, historical evidences, and also spiritual evidences. Those are the things that give me certainty that there is an afterlife, and my hope is that, at least in my worldview, I continue down a path where I continue following the way of Jesus Christ, and that is what guarantees you
so you're not like
access
the other
into
guys that
life.
you're speaking with certainty, right?
People can speak with certain degrees of confidence based on their interpretation.
So can you say that I don't speak with certainty? Can you just say that?
Well, no, because I told you the following. I am convinced of my worldview. So when I'm telling you about my worldview...
I just want to hear that from you.
Well, you're not going to hear it from me because I said the following. I'm convinced of my worldview. So in order to be convinced of your worldview, you can't just speak about it only in speculation. There has to be certain things that you hold to be true. For example, I hold that murder is evil. And you're not going to convince me of the opposite. For example, human beings have certain degrees of worth. No. It's part of my belief. A human being has intrinsic self-worth that makes him more valuable than a chicken. So killing a human being unjustly is wrong. And you can't convince me otherwise.
I'm not talking about that. Yeah, that's just something you believe, right? I'm talking about the future.
But don't forget, like, my belief is like a compound belief.
We're talking about specifically about what's going to happen in the future.
Right, so just to confirm then, in terms of the traditions of faith, you have no problem with anything that happened in the past. The only problem is the future.
Well, if I'm going to believe in something like a religion,
okay,
right? If I have no idea what's going to happen in the future,
okay,
right? I don't know if I'm going to be in hell or heaven, right?
Okay,
that's important to me, right?
How about the following?
I need to know what's going to happen in the future.
Then
I don't care what's happening right now.
I think that's a great base. So let us take earlier what you talked about when it came down to understanding.
This is your area of competence, right? I'm not really educated when it comes to religion.
Don't worry.
I'm trying to do my best.
I'll give you a hand. Right? So when you talked earlier about the indicators,
can we just stay specifically about the future? Because that's what you preach.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. So
that's why you do
in the same way that you had the list of evidences or indicators that would give you confidence if somebody was going to die tomorrow or not. If you were, for example, a Christian, you would also have a series of evidences and markers that would tell you if whether or not it was likely that the future would entail somebody going to heaven or hell. So it's all about you subscribing to those markers and using them as proof points before you can have that certainty that something will happen in the future. For example, you could be somebody who doesn't believe in modern medicine. You believe maybe in that.
If I tell you,
hold on.
Okay, let me.
One second. Give me a second. Let me finish off first, and then you can go. You can be somebody who doesn't believe in modern medicine. So all those indicators that you had earlier, age, lifestyle, habits, they could be out there as mechanisms or metrics for longevity, but you can just deny them all because you don't believe in modern medicine. You believe in holistic tribal medicine. Right. In the same capacity, you wouldn't believe in an afterlife or a heaven if you weren't a Christian who subscribed, for example, to the Christian worldview and used Christian indicators to then subscribe to the idea of there being a heaven. And we can talk about those things if you want, but go ahead.
Yeah, so, because I know people will die, right? I'm certain of that, because there's evidence.
Yeah, but how do you know they're actually dead?
Okay, so
I just it's not like a long nap.
We can't make things complicated right
we
now.
We can.
No, we
can.
It doesn't make it doesn't
because
help.
For you, what does death mean?
Okay, it doesn't help. You don't exist anymore. You cease to exist. That's it.
Really?
It's a loss of information. That's what death is. Basically.
You lose information.
What is death to you?
So if someone has like dementia and loses all the memories, that's
just part of it. Like you cease to. Okay, I told you don't make it complicated. You just
why not? Life's complicated.
All right. So
because
for me, it's a loss of information.
If someone dies for me, they still exist.
That's fine. I know that people die because there's evidence of that, right?
All right.
But if I tell you about what's going to happen, it's going to happen tomorrow, and it doesn't happen, that means I'm wrong.
Okay, so?
You know, I know that people die, but if I predict that somebody's going to die tomorrow, but they don't end up dying, that means I end up being wrong.
Okay.
About my prediction.
Okay.
So you predicting something that you have no evidence anyway, you haven't seen any piece of evidence, right? That's going to happen in the future. So you're predicting that God is going to exist in the future, right?
Well, we're talking about heaven, not God, if you remember.
Whatever, heaven, whatever.
Just remember your point when you're talking.
Yeah, whatever. You predict in the future.
Okay.
Like it's going to be God, you're going to be in heaven.
There's only one flaw in what you've said so far.
Fruits, you know,
that's Islamic. That's all
whatever you believe.
So
whatever.
You've made a small error here. So your first example is you predict that somebody will die and they don't die.
Yeah.
So effectively that means that your prediction is false because your outcome isn't reality. Now, if you predict or if you suspect a heaven exists, and you believe that heaven is attainable either when somebody dies or at the end of time, and those two things haven't yet occurred for the individual, then you wouldn't actually say that that prediction is wrong.
No.
Yes.
I'm not convinced.
Well,
I'm not convinced, to be honest.
and that's fine. Every human being has to be convinced of something before they can believe it.
Yeah.
So,
If you want to speculate, then yeah.
human beings can be brainwashed, or they can come to a conclusion on their own. So maybe what you could do, I don't know your background, I don't know where you're from, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Maybe as a Christian, my advice to you would be to look into the Christian worldview. And well, you can shake your head, but if I was advising you to go read a book about like how the universe is God itself, you might be open to it. If you're here to listen to ideas and expand your horizons, why not check it out? You won't die by reading the Bible.
Okay, so another question, right? Forget about speculation, prediction, future. This is about a different question. So, how do you know that the religion wasn't created just to control people?
So my response to this is that number one, people need controlling to begin with. That's why we have laws. We've always had laws. Human beings created laws to govern human behavior. Because, unfortunately, while most human beings are regular everyday people who will get along with their lives, there's a small contingent of any group that will always be hyper-violent. Like we had a little monkey friend over there earlier.
So we have laws.
So we need things to control people.
We have laws
right?
today, but
So
2,000 years ago,
they still had laws. We have law codes going back 5,000 years.
it's different. It's different.
Human beings are rational social animals.
Yeah,
So we
I
operate based
agree
on
with you
laws.
that humans need somebody to guide them.
Okay,
I agree with.
perfect.
I agree with.
So-
on that one. So you just said they need someone to guide them.
Yes, well,
so
they
how do you know
need
that religion
control,
was
okay?
not created to basically, because obviously, and they need to believe in the stories if you want to control them.
Sure.
Because if there's no story, you can preach whatever you want to
Sure,
preach.
sure.
But they're not gonna listen to you if there's no story, right?
Okay.
So how do you know that wasn't the reason why religion was created? In the
I
first
don't.
place?
I don't have any evidence that Christianity, in particular, was just made up on the spot in order to control people. If you look at the history of the faith, it started off as a very small contingent of people in Jerusalem who were often criticized and eventually killed for their beliefs, and it eventually spread all around the world through multiple centuries of persecution and eventually victories. So, if it was made by one dude to control people, number one, that guy would not be alive to see it become what it is today. And number two, it would ignore the backdrop and the history of how we even get to Christianity from other ancient religions, like Judaism. So that is my answer to you as to why one person didn't just make it to control people. Are there rules in Christianity? Yes. Look at the regular human behavior. Yes. Does this tell you what to do? Yes. But what have been the results of those behaviors and rules? You have, throughout history, for example, in ancient Rome, there were certain things that they did correctly, also things that they did incorrectly. One instance is that a Roman citizen, a male, had the right to just kill their children without persecution from the state, if they chose to do so. And then with the imposition of Christianity, those things became illegal. So literally, people were being controlled
Okay, so another question.
not to do those things.
Yeah, another
Is that a
question.
bad thing? No.
Okay,
So what I would say,
am
am I ending?
Okay,
What
I
I
see
would
what you mean, I
say,
see
hold
what
on
you
a second. What I would say,
Yeah, I like your answer.
give me a second. What I would say is there's a tenet in Christianity, the idea that you will know if something is good by the outcomes or the outputs that it produces.
Yeah.
Look at the outputs of Christianity and then determine if it's actually good or not.
All right.
There you go.
Okay, so if we compare 2,000 years ago
Okay.
versus 2026,
Okay.
so obviously, a long time ago, religion in general was very important, right?
Still is today.
Right. Why is it
There's
today not
more
important?
believers today, cumulatively, than there were 2,000 years ago.
Yeah, because of the population, obviously. But
Right, but
before
but-
they believed in it
but
strongly compared to today.
if it wasn't important,
Now you might have people that actually believe
it would have declined as the population grew.
Yeah, but why is it less important in today?
It's not. It's more important today, and that's evidenced by the proliferation of religious buildings, how religion has worked its way into
How does
law.
it help you?
Sorry?
How does the religion help you?
Let's
Apart
just
from
say,
making you feel good, that I can agree with. It
yeah,
makes you
no,
feel good.
well,
Apart from that,
sometimes it can make you feel bad.
but you can sit here and debate of religion all
Yep.
day long. How does it push a society forward?
In Christianity, in particular,
Like you can debate science, you can debate economy, you can debate
yeah, but
psychology.
that doesn't really
At
do
least it
anything.
helps society
Well,
move forward.
no, it doesn't. Well, what does debating economics help move forward? Can you tell me a single time? Can you tell me a single time anywhere in history where a debate in the realm of economics helped the world move forward?
Well, if you debate economy with somebody, right? So it can help basically the country, how they manage their money, how they manage their investments.
Is that what really happens in reality?
Let me just finish.
Okay.
Let me just finish. So if you compare 2026 versus 100 years ago, obviously there was more hunger before compared to today. But economists, they helped with that because they sat down, they debated how they can make sure that people are not left behind, how everybody can have access to opportunities, stuff like that, So it does help society move forward. If you debate
Can you give me an example where that thing you described happened? And just one.
I just did.
Where in the world do people sit down and determine actually people are hungry? So let's discuss how to feed them and then move forward. When that ever happened?
What do you mean? When that happens all the time?
Can you give me an example? Just one.
Like what institution is debating that, for example?
Yeah, where people debated economics and it changed the world for the better. When that happened?
Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, JP Morgan.
These are just banks. When do they debate?
They work with economists to help them determine the investments, how to allocate capital, how to make
Yeah, but
investments.
you're just talking about financial mechanisms.
They work with
There's no debate there.
Yeah, but they work with the government, how they can make sure to look after citizens, like create jobs opportunities for other people.
This is just like capitalistic mechanisms. There's no debate here.
No, if you that's what it is.
No, I'm sorry. So unfortunately,
That's
what you fail to do.
If a government is working to provide opportunities for people to have access to opportunities to which will give them
can
an
you
income,
prove that comes
that is
about
economy.
by
That
debates?
is economics.
Can you prove it comes about by debates? Can you prove that those things come about because of debates about economics?
Can I prove that?
Yeah, because that was your claim, that it's better to debate science and economics as opposed to religion. Okay,
So
let me give you an example. Hold on. Well, so have you.
So I just said to you, if you debate
let's
economy,
compare
it helps
Western
society move
societies
forward. And you're asking me
to
what is
Eastern
the
societies.
evidence of that?
Hang on a second. If you compare Western societies to Eastern ones, right? Say, for example, the ancient Islamic world, right? They had religious obligations to fulfill, but also, and quite often, that would actually stifle their economic pursuits because they wouldn't actually engage in anything productive. They would sell slaves and spices, whereas the other part of the world, where we actually believe, for example, in being able to use your God-given skills to improve yourself and your economy around you, would produce things that led to the rise of, for example, industrialization, but that never happened or came out of the Muslim world.
Okay, so you just
So actually, debating religion or picking what religion to follow can actually shape everything on your society, your politics, your military, and your economy.
There you go. So you just said somebody should use their own skills, right? If you sit down and debate economy with people, right, you come up with an idea, right? Which means that you create some kind of like environment where they can use their skills, but they can come from debates. So it helps, right?
So my point is that debating religion is equally, if not more, useful than debating economics.
Yeah, it can help people feel good. It can, like bring
it can actually
together.
It can shape your social values.
Here and there,
No, it definitely can. It definitely can. That's why. So, okay, why do you?
I agree with you.
Exactly.
I agree with you on that.
Exactly.
I give it to you. Yeah.
Exactly.
It can bring families together.
It can bring societies together under shared values that then enable them to improve the entire country.
It's just a story that people believe in, which is, it's a good thing. But how do they know if it's
the
true?
The story is only one part of it. Yeah. So, for example, in the same way that we can tell if anything historically occurred based upon a sliding scale of likelihood. We can apply that same thing to the Bible if you'd like. So, is it likely that there was a Jesus? Yes or no? Is it likely that he taught certain things that were then later captured in writings and in oral traditions by his followers? Yes or no? If those two things can be proven to be likely, then there was a person who was on earth for a time who said certain things that were very impactful and that carried on and changed the world for the better. So through that very simple mechanism, you can determine if Christianity is A, useful, and B, if its core tenets are true.
All right, man, fair enough.
So, will you ever...
It's just a story for me at the end of the day.
It's a story for you because you don't know enough about it, right? Like, you know, for example, for me, physics is all about like numbers and letters. But there's more to it, right? So, in the same way that I need to look into it more, it would help you if maybe you picked up a Bible, go to the New Testament and read Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, and just see how you feel about this person of Christ.
All right, so
begin with.
It's just like my personality is like, I don't like believing in stories. I always like to see evidence.
All
right?
you know is stories, my friend.
You like to speculate.
Hold on a second.
That's fine.
If you talk to your grandparents,
that's the only difference between me and you. I want to see evidence.
If you talk to your grandparents, all they'll tell you is stories. But most of the things that they tell you, you won't have any evidence of it.
I have to believe it.
Okay.
I have to believe what they say.
So hold on a second. You don't have to believe it, right? But then when they tell you certain things about how they grew up, what you did when you were a baby, so you're just lying, all of it, essentially. All of it's a lie to you.
No,
or you're convinced by certain
unless
things.
Unless there's evidence for me, right?
Okay.
Unless I see evidence, it's just a story.
Right, so if it tell you that your
just
first...
somebody's idea.
If it tell you that I used to play on a drum kit as a 1-year-old, but there's no picture of it, you're just going to flat out deny it.
Say again?
If it tell you that you used to play on a drum kit when you were 1, for example, and there's no picture of it, you just see things that's a lie.
How do I know it's true?
Well, what reason would...
Somebody told me that.
Yes, but what reason would your grandparents have to lie to you?
Maybe they were like drunk, maybe they were
but
suffering some sort of dreams.
If more than one person corroborates something, doesn't that add some degree of credibility to what they're saying? If your grandmother and father says it,
I would just say that has 99%. Right,
that's very high.
Right?
That's very high.
99, right?
That's very high.
99.999.
That's as certain as anything.
There is that still 0.1.
Okay.
I don't know.
So, and you know what? I agree with you on that one.
Yeah.
Because earlier I told you that
would you say it's a 95%? Would you say 99%?
I told you that I can't quantify my belief. However, if you're going to say 99.99, that indicates to me
based on, like,
that you're very
stories,
certain that those things are true.
You know, how much you love what you
There
believe
you go.
in. Like, would you say, like, I give it a 90%?
Whatever number
I'm sure
makes
you can do that.
whatever number makes you happy in thinking that I am wholly convinced.
Yeah.
Whatever number that is for you.
Say,
it can be for 51, 65, whatever it is for you.
I would say that you just don't want to admit that you don't have any evidence. Deep down, you know that you don't have any evidence, but you don't want to say that because it makes you look weak.
So it's funny, right?
Can I just finish?
Okay.
So deep down inside, you know there is no evidence, and you just don't want to admit that because it makes you look like you don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
But anyway, but that's what deep down you believe that, but you don't want to admit that. Two, if I have to guess, I would say you are like 98% convinced, but 2%. Even you, deep down inside, sometimes you wake up in the morning and it keeps like, I really believe this. But you don't want to say that in front of people, but that's why you believe.
So you've contradicted yourself with your first and second statements.
Yeah, that's just what I believe.
Your first statement was that deep down inside of me, I don't believe, and as a result, I'm afraid to admit that I don't believe because I'll look weak if I do. Now it's funny because in the Bible.
Rarely you see people admitting that they don't have any evidence.
That's fine. So in the Bible, we would say that that's something that only God can do. Or only God can read your heart. So I'm very surprised what evidence you have to suggest that you're certain that I'm deep down inside of me unsure of my belief. Now, your second statements, I actually agree with that. I'm not telling you that you will be convinced of God existing every single day.
Yeah.
It is okay to doubt. That's fine. However, in your doubting, Don't allow it to turn you into a non-believer.
You're a disbeliever.
You can always research whatever you're doubting, spend time contemplating God, and if somehow truly you're unconvinced, then that's sort of your own cross to bear.
Fair enough, man.
Because doubt will always occur.
Yeah, you make a lot of good points
in the Bible.
In
the Bible, actually,
I like some of your
there's many instances where you have prophets, people of God, who ideally should be people who are wholly convinced, and even they go through periods of doubts routinely.
Okay, so
as recorded.
So if you end up being wrong,
okay,
obviously, like, you know, stupid question, you know.
Yeah.
You're gonna be dead anyway. So
yeah.
So if you end up being wrong, what's gonna happen?
Yeah. So I mean, there's like a philosopher.
And you convince all these people.
Yeah.
They follow you.
Yeah. So here's what I'll say. To make it very simple, there's a philosopher that's sort of like his name's Pascal, and he has this idea called like a Pascal's wager. So effectively, not to make it too complicated, but if you pretended...
No, you can make it complicated.
Oh, I can? Okay, awesome. Instead of a wager, instead of gambling, right? You're better off believing in God, particularly the God of the Bible, and being wrong, as opposed to not believing and then being wrong about that. Because when you believe and act accordingly to the tenets of Christianity, you become a person who's actually pretty good. You are somebody who helps out their fellow man, the society. You improve upon yourself.
So was you born Christian or you became a Christian?
Well, ultimately, I wasn't born anything. I was born into a Christian family, and I was brought into the faith.
Okay, so you're born into it.
Yes, exactly. Right now, if I'm wrong, that's fine with me, because I was a Christian. There's many things that I could have done that are horrific that I don't do. So if I lived a life where people remember me for being a good person and someone who was upstanding, that's far better to me than me assuming there is no God and doing whatever I want to do. Because I can't guarantee that everything that I want to do is good.
That's good, man. That's good.
So, will you check out a Bible or not? Why not? Expand your knowledge sets. Why not?
I think that I'm just...
You're active. Can I ask, how old are you? Can I ask?
I'm 29.
You have time to learn, my dude. You're like 80. You can learn new things.
It's not like...
So just check it out.
I'm not interested in it. I'm not...
But you clearly are.
All right, look, listen.
Because otherwise you wouldn't talk to me for an hour.
All right. I am an investor, right?
Okay.
I am in a business where I am like 100% convinced if I don't see evidence, it doesn't make any sense to me, right?
But you have to research before.
Right, yeah. So, because I'm an investor, right?
Okay.
I deal with certainty, you know, and I've seen a lot of bullshit people talking about futures and all that, how they speak with certainty.
All right.
So I keep comparing it to religion.
Fair enough.
And all that, you know?
Can I ask you a question?
So, it's very hard to convince me, right?
Okay.
If I was not an investor, maybe you could.
Okay. Can I ask you a question?
But because I'm an investor, it's gonna be so
Can I
hard
ask you a
for
question?
to convince me.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Before you learned about investing, before you learned how it works, before you studied, analyzed, and spent endless hours perfecting your craft at investing, were you convinced that you were good at this?
Was I convinced?
That you were good at this before?
What kind of question is that?
I'm drawing a parallel here. In the same way that you're even unwilling to check out Christianity, how will you even know if it'll benefit you?
That's different.
It's the same thing. In philosophy, it's called a priori. But before you know anything about a certain topic, how can you be convinced it's true or not?
Yeah, I'm convinced right now. If I go and study psychology, right? One day, if I give me like 5 years, I'll be good at it, for example, right?
Wouldn't the same apply to a religion?
No, that's different.
Why would it be different? It's a subject, correct?
No, I believe that I can be good at something, right? Like I'm convinced I can be good
So
at
why
it,
can't you be a good Christian? What stops you?
Well, that is just a story. Like I said,
it's more than just a story. It contains stories. And the reason you don't know that is because you haven't looked into it. If you did look into it, then you would know more about it than just it's a story.
Yeah.
Christianity isn't just a story. It contains stories, but it's more than that.
If I become, let's just say, for me, if I believe that I can be a good investor, the purpose of that, I'm going to make money.
Okay.
That's the purpose.
Okay.
If I believe that I can be a good Christian, Muslim, or Jew, whatever,
Yep.
what's the purpose of that?
As far as a Christian, I guess it's actually for a Muslim or Jew, but as far as a Christian, you are able to then move towards perfecting yourself. So you will be perfected not just in what you do as far as your work, but in your relationships, in the way that you think about the world.
So you need the religion to do that?
Without the religion, so ultimately, my answer is yes. Everybody has some kind of religion. Because it's very difficult as a human being to be constantly self-motivated to improve yourself and everything else around you. Without you believing in some way that you're doing something for the grander good. And often, that is something that human beings on their own
So you think that
don't experience.
So
but in religions,
unless
it's a good point in the Russian.
Yeah. Okay, that subject has been debated many times. So if you're going to talk about it, it's just there's no point of talking.
Well,
about it.
you're confusing
you
it.
just keep repeating.
No,
what's been said before.
What you're thinking
like,
is
you don't really need to be a religious to be, good person.
That's completely different from what you said initially.
How do you know that you're a good person?
Sorry?
How do I know that you're a good person?
So you wouldn't know if you don't study me, right?
No.
So you would need to study me.
You're a religious guy.
You don't have
How
the
do I know
ability.
that you're not evil.
Sorry?
You're a religious guy.
You would
How do I know
first.
that you're not evil?
You would first need to understand what evil is.
I'm not trying to.
You would first need to then tell me what criteria make an evil person.
Yeah,
then you can analyze my criteria against that criteria and then make a conclusion. Simple as that.
Yeah, you can say that I'm a
So,
good person. because
what
I'm
makes
religion, but
somebody
this is
evil
just
for
a
you?
picture they created right now. You
Okay.
show to the world, right?
Okay.
But I don't know if you're a good person or no.
Okay.
And religion doesn't really make you a good person.
It can.
It
can more so than you just walking out on your own
Yeah, but you can
and then
also
picking
be
what
a
you
good
want to do.
person without being religious.
Sorry?
You can also be a good person without being religious.
By what standard is the problem? I think
You can have a good heart, like you can.
What is a good heart?
You can feel other people.
What is a good heart?
Like, what do you mean? What is a good heart? Like,
What is a good heart?
Like, you help people, you feel for them, things like that. For example, do I need religion to believe in that?
So just because you can feel for somebody. So for example, there are
Just don't make
most
things complicated. And
what
try.
you told me I could, right? So for example,
doesn't help,
most people feel empathy for people who are starving to death, for example. But most people don't help them. So that person who feels, oh, that's bad, but doesn't help them, are they a good person or not? According to you.
Sorry, second. I was distracted by something.
No worries. We all see kids dying of war and starvation all around the world.
Yeah.
And most of us will feel something for them, right? But most of us won't help them in any way.
Yeah, if you can't, then
So
it's fine.
are we good people still?
Yeah.
So as long as we have a sentiment, we're good people.
Yeah, that's a good question. That's a
Right?
good question.
Oh, howdy. How's it going? How's it going?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
But, that's a good question. But if you can't do anything about it, but you wanted to do something about it, but maybe you don't have the money, maybe you don't have the power, but that was your intention.
So then, what do you do about for example, Christians who all throughout history have gone around helping people in impoverished situations? What do you do about them? Do we have a group of atheists who all throughout history have gone around helping people? Can you name them?
Can I name them?
Yeah.
What kind of question is that?
So it appears that throughout history, those people who have felt motivated to go and improve the world around them and improve the world of those who were in their immediate vicinity were all religious. Because they felt a higher calling than just, oh, I want to be a good investor
So
today.
the people who went around the world, right?
Improving it.
And they wanted to. That's what they said to you, right?
Who's they?
Whoever it is, people, the group, whatever it is. Going around the world wanting to help people. If they said that was our intention to help, that's what they told you.
What was the motivation?
That's what I'm trying to say. You don't know what was their intention.
No,
Maybe
I'm
they went
asking
there
about
to conquer something
motivation.
else. And they just wanted to give you that picture, but their intention was to conquer something else. You don't know. They could be Christian, they could say we're a good Christian going around and do this, good as Muslim, Jew, whatever, But they don't know what they went there for.
So,
but anybody can go around the world and help,
Can you show me atheists doing that?
Yeah, I'm sure some atheists went around.
Can you talk to me about them? What's the group's name? And also, when they went around, what did they do? Like, how did they help? What did they actually do for the people there?
No, I'm sure it happened, but I don't know what they did.
But in pre-modern times, not really. No, because think about it. If you're an atheist, right, in pre-modern times, what's your motivation to leave where you are? When, like, you know, your family needs your help, your kids need you, your parents need you, and then go somewhere completely different, and then help other people who aren't even related to you. There's no motivation for it. But when you're a Christian, your motivation is that Christ tells you to go and tell everybody about him. So you will actually sacrifice potentially leaving your family where they are in the pre-modern world and going somewhere completely different, where you don't even know how they'll treat you, where you could actually lose your life just to tell them about Christ.
Alright.
Yeah.
Yeah, for a Christian person, they might have that purpose to go around the world and do that.
What do atheists have? Nothing.
It could be anything else. It could be anything. It could be, you know, because they want to make themselves feel good. They want other people to feel good. They want others to do the same, so that the economy, the society, you know, improve. It could be anything.
So we would then just
you
say.
didn't die because you want to go to heaven. They did that because they wanted other people to feel good, and they want to feel good at that time. That's not
Okay.
different.
So then we would say one of two things.
So you're just thinking about
either
heaven,
inadvertently, those people are just copying Christian principles without subscribing to the faith, or number two,
no, you're doing that because you want to go to heaven. Mainly.
It wouldn't work that way, because in our tradition,
one of the reasons you want to go to heaven.
So we're told that God looks at your heart. So if you're only doing something in order that you can achieve something selfish, then you won't actually achieve that goal.
Yeah.
So we would say that we do those things not just to go to heaven, but that because we love Christ or Jesus Christ, we do those things because we love him, and as a result we'll be rewarded.
Right. So would you still do it if you believe that you're not going to go to heaven?
Sorry?
Would you still do it if you don't believe that you're going to go to heaven?
It depends on the person. Somebody may be less motivated.
No, I'm not talking about you personally.
It depends. I don't know for certain.
So you don't, no, but let's just say that you know.
Yeah.
Would you still do it?
I would say so. Yeah, sure. There's still benefits. Yeah, sure.
So what would be the motivation if it's not going to happen?
The fact that, like Christ said, that a good tree cannot produce bad fruit, and a bad fruit cannot produce a bad tree cannot produce good fruits. So even if heaven wasn't guaranteed, for example, Christ says that Christians are the salt of the earth. So we're basically and that we are a shining city on a hill, right? So ultimately, even if heaven isn't guaranteed, we have an obligation to make things better than they currently are. So that alone could be motivation.
Okay, so you just basically thought the same way atheists would think.
Well, no, because atheists wouldn't subscribe to anything, right? That's the whole idea, right?
So you're not going to heaven, so you have to look for something else.
And if you remember, I said two things. So either they just copy Christian principles without subscribing to them, but ultimately the principles are still Christian, or they make their own religion. Those were the two things that I mentioned when it came to atheists. So earlier on I said everybody has a religion.
Yeah.
Some organized, some unorganized. Okay. But bottom line, people still believe in something, even without evidence. So, Mr. Investor, why not invest in the Bible?
Because you had to see, you know. Thank you.
I say think about it. Think about it.
No.
Invest in the Bible. Learn that.
Was you born a Christian?
I was born into same situation as him. Born into a Christian family, but then with time I got to understand what my parents were doing, and I made a decision at the age of maybe 11 to follow Christ.
Like with everything.
So you thought like I was born into Christianity and I think it's right at the age of 11.
Yes.
So
that's
you were
when
like
I made a
smart enough to
decision.
analyze and think and
No, I understood what
ask
was going
questions.
on at the age of 11. I was that immersed. I didn't understand everything, even up to now. I don't understand everything.
So you think age 11 is
It depends on the person.
It depends on the person, really. But
But you were a smart kid at age of 11.
No, nowhere near.
But you still made a decision.
Yeah, I made a decision because I was presented with that opportunity to say, do you want to follow Christ or do your own thing? And there are many people that chose not to do it. And I left my parents when I was really young. And I didn't. Yeah. So then I didn't fall back. So I made that decision. I meant it. And even up to now, I'm still standing on that.
And I would say that at age 11, you're not old enough to make that kind of decision.
It depends on the person.
It depends.
It does.
It depends on the. Okay, when I turned 18, why did I not fall back?
I would say that
if I didn't
11 years
really
old, you're
believe.
still a kid.
Yeah?
Yeah.
But you can make decisions.
Your prefrontal cortex is not fully developed until you reach the age of 25 years old.
Yeah, but you can still make decisions.
But you can make this. What religion? Oh, you said you're not religious.
No, I'm not going to talk about my personal life because you guys do this.
Well, I can assume a few things already from your personal life from what you told me so far. Like when you keep mentioning being born in such a religion, I can tell you come from a Muslim background.
Yeah. So I'm from a Muslim background.
Yeah, I can tell.
I don't want to say what I am.
That's fine. That's fine.
I just want to keep it private.
That's fine.
But you guys
that's fine.
decided to say that to the public. You know,
that's fine. That's okay.
So you made that kind of decision at age 11.
The decision was just to follow Christ, not understanding everything.
Yeah, you made that decision to follow Christ, which is you made that
or
decision
not
to
follow Christ. So
which
there's two options there.
Yeah.
You want to follow Christ, or you just want to do your own thing.
Yeah. So you
and
made
I decided to follow Christ,
which means you decided to be a Christian.
Yes.
Yeah,
based on what I
independently
then.
of your parents as well.
Yeah, independent of my parents, because the church that I was going to, I was living with my grandfather, my grandparents. Sorry, I didn't go to the church that they were going to, because of the teachings and my understanding.
Let me ask you one thing. You wake up in the morning and ask yourself, like, do I believe? Do you ask yourself like if what you believe in right now is true or not?
You mean like now?
Yeah. When you wake up in the morning, do you ask yourself that if Christianity is actually true or not?
I never
asked that question ever.
Before I did.
Came to your mind?
I did before. When I was young, I did.
So at 11, who actually made that decision? Is it your consciousness or is it your brain activity?
I don't know. All I'm saying is, I made that decision.
Is it your consciousness or is it your brain activity that actually took the decision?
What's the difference
I
between
know
the two?
that I'm a child. I'm making a decision to follow Christ. That's it. It's not even complicated. To me,
how do you know that you made that decision?
I know I made that decision because you actually had to go in front of people and say, I've made that decision.
What are you?
A human being, a child, standing in front of adults, telling them I've decided to go with whatever it is that you are believing.
Because I don't want to get into psychology.
Bottom line, he was given an option.
That's
I was given an option, and you are not forced at that age.
Yeah.
You are not forced to make that.
I was actually making it complicated. I don't want to make it complicated.
You can.
Yeah, but it doesn't help. So you made that decision. I would just think that you're not old enough to make that decision, right?
How old do you have to be?
Okay,
25.
No.
Your prefrontal cortex is fully developed, so at least you're like.
So
you have some sort
you
of
can't
knowledge,
make any decision.
Okay, so if I make it 8, I cannot make a decision independent of my parents at 18.
No, I would say at least 18 or 25.
So you were 25, now we're at 18. Can I not, at 16, can I not make that decision?
I would say minimum 18.
Based on the information that I've received. Yeah. Remember, it wasn't a complicated...
But it's not just in the information. It's about how you analyze, how you think.
No, there was not too much analysis. It was, do you want to follow Christ?
Because when you get older, you become more of a critical thinker. You question things the right way.
I am a critical thinker right now.
I can tell you anything and you can believe in it.
No, not at 11.
Yeah, you said you made a decision at 11. If I said anything to you, you would believe it. There's a high probability that you would believe it.
Okay, so here's what I'll say.
Okay, let me just finish that statement.
Yeah, go ahead.
So the only information I had was following Jesus Christ, this is what we do. And I knew that because I was exposed to it. And there was another option. So that other option, I knew exactly what's happening here and what's happening here, and I chose this. Nothing complicated, and I wasn't advanced. That's when I made it. At 18, guess what? When I left my parents and all that, I even got deeper into Christianity, and I understood more. Now I'm 44.
So 44, I would say, if you believe Christianity exists, it makes sense because you're 44, you know, like now you can analyze, you can think for yourself.
No, at 18 I was 11, quite convinced.
I would just say,
yeah,
there you go.
At 18,
you admit that?
No, in secondary school, no, I said at 18, I actually preached at a school.
Do you admit that?
No, listen
11,
to the story.
You were just convinced because you were young?
No, I said I made a decision. I don't know what I was thinking at 11.
No, but would you
I
say...
understood what I was following. Okay. I understood the options before me. There were two options. I picked one.
You can't tell me that you understood when you were 11.
No, I made a decision, so I must have understood something.
You can make decisions for 11. You can.
You were just brainwashed. I mean, you were just convinced. I don't want to use that word.
I grew up in an environment whereby you are given this choice or this choice. Why was I brainwashed by religion?
Was you actually given a choice?
Yeah.
My family traditionalists, so that was the second option. I grew up with two options. I had to pick one, and I picked this one.
Fair enough.
Now at 18, you were saying before 24 you're not able to make a decision.
That's not true at all.
I actually
no one says that.
Out.
I didn't say that. Did I say that?
Just, yeah.
No. I didn't say you're not able to make a decision. I said your prefrontal cortex is not fully developed.
You don't require that
maybe you don't need it to make these decisions that we're talking about.
No. You're not understanding what I'm saying.
No, I'm understanding exactly what you're saying.
You're tying the prefrontal cortex.
You don't need the fully.
You can make a decision.
Yes.
But it's 25 is better than 11.
Not necessarily, no.
16.
Not necessarily.
At 16, I was preaching the gospel, thinking that I understood. With the information that I had, I did the best with the information that I had. Not because of brainwashing, no. Because the traditional way, I knew it just the same.
Yeah.
So why didn't I?
But the part of your brain that actually makes a decision, that's responsible for decision making and analyzing.
Yes.
It's called the prefrontal cortex.
Yes.
It's responsible for making a decision and analyzing.
Yeah, but
that's not fully developed.
No,
yes,
but when you're talking about analysis, analyzing what?
Analyzing, what you believe in, if it's true.
That's inaccurate.
No.
That's inaccurate. No. That's very inaccurate.
That is what analysis is.
Okay, so
I understand analysis. I understand the analysis.
You look at what somebody told you and you're trying to analyze what they're telling you.
Yes.
Decision.
But there are levels to analysis.
Yes,
at 11, at the age of 11, you are
levels to analysis.
You are capable.
Yes.
Yeah. No. You said you're
deep analysis.
Did you say you do investments?
High level analysis.
The way that you analyze the investment is totally different from the way that I analyze. You, because you're a skilled person, that's a higher level of analysis because you are trained.
Yeah, but analysis.
You are a specialist. But there are different levels.
There's different levels.
Say, for example, when you are investigating a company, me, I'll just say, okay, they made a profit. They made a profit. I'll look at EBITDA, for example.
High level analysis.
EBITDA. If I ask my friends what to look for in a company, I'll say EBITDA. My friend doesn't even know what EBITDA is, but you know more than EBITDA. So my level is still basic compared to what you know, isn't it?
Okay, but
so are these not levels of different levels of analysis?
Yeah, they are.
This is your circle of competence, right? This is your circle of competence, religion. So at 11, you can't make good decisions.
You can
analyze properly.
You can.
In Africa, I'll tell you. In Africa, I don't need to see the manuscript.
So you telling me
and
right
all.
now, 11 years old can analyze the same way as a 25 years old?
No. We didn't say the same way.
We didn't say the same way.
We said at that age, I was able to make a decision to pick one A from B. That's it.
Exactly.
That's it. I didn't have to know everything. Remember, I told you I knew
like 2 or 3 years old.
the traditional way. I'm surrounded by people that know the traditional way. I'm surrounded by a little group that knows about Christianity. I chose Christianity.
Okay. So we came back to my point. At 11, you're not knowledgeable enough.
I knew enough to make a decision between the two.
I would say you didn't know.
No, but I made a decision. I picked one.
But where's your evidence that he didn't know? Where's your evidence? You're speculating.
No, I don't need evidence for that because 11 years old is, for me, is a kid.
Okay, cool.
It doesn't
understand. They still can't analyze properly.
They don't understand what?
They don't understand. Compared to a 25 years old, they don't understand.
No, why are you comparing with a 25-year-old?
There's some 25-year-olds who don't understand anything either.
Can ask proper questions.
Not really.
Analyze better. They're more knowledgeable.
Not necessarily.
They're more of critical thinker.
Not necessarily.
They can take good decisions.
Yeah, you have to learn those things.
Compared to 11. So you, I feel
Not
sorry for
necessarily.
you at 11 years old.
Not
That's what I can
necessarily.
say. I just feel sorry for you.
Why would you feel sorry for me at
Somewhat.
Do you ever heard of this act? Have you heard of something called the Covert Human Intelligence Sources Act? You ever heard of it?
So you bring in some conspiracy theory right here.
No, it's not conspiracy theory. It's not. You can actually check
I
it.
feel sorry for you, my friend. And,
why would you feel sorry for me at 44?
Yeah, there's no reason.
No, I feel sorry for you that you were
If you knew me at the age of 11,
All right, thank you.
if you knew the people that I grew up with at the age of 11, we live totally different lives. Just because I chose this thing that you claim that I didn't understand. I knew how to behave in a particular way because I was trying to emulate Jesus. I didn't know the complicated.
You were trained. Huh? You were trained.
No, trying.
Oh, did you say I was
Trying.
No, I said I was trying to emulate because we read about Jesus. I didn't understand everything about it. I didn't understand the complex side of things. But I knew enough to know this is what I'm doing, and these are things that are not compatible with the things.
11 years old.
Yes.
At 11 years old.
Yeah,
Yes.
11.
I knew not to do these things. I can give you.
What? 11-year-olds will know right from wrong?
You know,
Is that
like
what you're saying?
going to
young.
it's equivalent
No, it's
to
not.
clubbing in Africa. I grew up in Africa, but you do it worshiping the dead. Do you understand? I knew not to do that at 11. Why? Because of this party that I've joined. Do you understand? So I knew the difference. I'm not saying that I knew everything about Christianity. Even now, at 44, I don't know everything about Christianity. I'm still learning. But I had enough information and I was capable of processing the two options that were before me and pick one.
That's good. I hope you know. So what has the religion done for you? Like,
Oh, a lot.
a lot,
A lot,
yeah?
yeah.
Psychologically, you know.
Psychologically, even the people around me have benefited from me choosing Christ. Because like I said, I come from the army side of things, and I've seen bad things even when I was young. When I chose Christ, I actually preached to people to say this is not the right way. I was young. And people that were over 25 listened to me and they followed Christ. Because they knew I had the power to be on this side and benefit.
Improving his society around.
Yeah, but I chose the way of Christ, which was actually restricting me because I could get more by choosing the other side, where I come from.
This is not to be disrespectful, yeah.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
I speak my mind. I'm kind of
It's
person that speaks my
Speaker's
mind.
Corner.
It's Speaker's Corner. Yeah.
So I never see myself basically worshipping a person.
Yes.
And I don't think
that's only
I
if
can
you
die and
believe.
come back to that, you know?
That's only if you believe
would
what
just-
the
What
Muslims
person?
have told you.
What person?
He basically he comes from an Islamic background, so he has that worldview.
No. It's not
Yeah?
just Muslims. You got even Christians. They got that kind of thinking.
No Christian has that problem, my guy. I'm sorry.
No, I can bring in many Christians.
Go
are
ahead.
thinking
Go
the
ahead.
same.
Bring me one.
Many.
Bring me one Christian
Are
who
you
claims to be
regular?
a
Are you
Christian
regular
who
here?
will worship
No, I'm
Christ.
used to this thing. So
What?
just,
What is it?
Bring me a Christian who will worship Christ.
My brother. No, you are sleeping.
A Christian
Are you so are you Christian?
who will not worship Christ.
Every Christian that says Jesus is a Christ, they are worshiping him.
No,
Dennis,
you're
Dennis,
saying the
Dennis,
opposite of
will
what you're saying.
not.
Will not.
Find me a Christian that
Who
will
will
not
not
worship
worship
Christ.
Christ. Dennis was in there.
Front, isn't it? He's your front.
Yeah.
He's on your side.
Dennis was in there.
I thought you were a Muslim.
He's a Muslim now. He's a Muslim
No,
now.
he's not a Muslim.
He is.
He is a Muslim.
He came hard.
Oh yeah, he was ready. He was ready.
He was ready.
He's ready to debate. But
Man, listen, I've seen many Christians, right?
Christ isn't just a man, he's also God. So in the same way that you worship God, you worship Christ. Simple as
That's
that.
right. I've seen many Christians, they think they can't, they can't take it. They can't really,
Then they're not Christians.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I've seen it.
It's like I've seen Muslims who don't want to follow Muhammad. Come on, man. Like,
I'm sure you see. I'm sure. Like you
they're not Muslim. Simple as that.
You can call them whatever you want to call
They wouldn't be Muslim, right? Because to be a Muslim, you have to follow Muhammad and Allah. You have to do two things.
Sorry.
Yeah, you have to do two things, right? So to be a Christian, you gotta believe in Christ and worship Him as God. Simple as that. Anyway, check it out.
It was nice to talk to you.
Check it out. New Testament, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Don't let the background you came from determine what you do for going forwards.
All right, guys.
God bless you.
God bless you.
I didn't want to get involved in the discussion.
No,
that's fine,
but
that's fine,
because
that's
I think you approached me, so I just have to say one thing before we leave.
Go ahead. Yeah.
We believe that what's happening here, it's a knock on your heart. And the Bible says, the Bible says, if you open your heart, Jesus will enter. You are saying it's just a human being. No human being is going to enter into your heart and guarantee and promise you heaven and promise to wipe your sins away. No man is going to do that.
I'm just open-minded guy, and I talked to Muslims.
If you're open-minded, then you wouldn't mind opening a Bible. That's all I'm saying.
Are you a good investor?
Am I a good investor?
Yes. You didn't get there by happenstance. You had to learn, and you had to make sure that this one, it gives me the highest probability of doing it, of getting a good return on my investment.
Right.
So therefore, in order for you to decide whether to discard this as nonsense or accept it, you have to look into it the same way.
If I read the Bible, will it help me with my investment decisions?
No.
It might do.
No.
It might do.
But
It might do.
What I'm
There's
saying,
lots of wisdom there.
what I'm saying is, at the end, you have enough information by which to decide whether to discuss this as nonsense or accept it. The same way that you take the methodologies and say, this one is not going to give me a good investment. I cannot use this to arrive at a good investment. This one, I can use it. Why? Because you have looked into both methodologies and you have faith in this one. You have faith in this one will give you higher probability of getting a good return. Why? It's because you have enough information. Now, without information, how can you pick one?
So in investment, you can do analysis, whether it's fundamentals, technicals, quants, whatever it is. Okay, and you may come to a conclusion that this has 85% probability of working, and 15% chance not working.
Okay.
Yes.
And you can do the opposite. It's true. You can analyze something and you can say this has about 35% chance of not working, 65% chance of working, and that can end up being a good investment. That can end up working, and the other investment can end up being a loser.
Okay.
But you are making a decision based on the information.
So what?
You have information, then it helps you decide whether to take this one as a viable model or not.
So if I analyze the company and I reach the conclusion that something has a high, like 85% chance of working, right? And it happened in my lifetime, I ended up not working. Do you see what I'm trying to say?
Right. So my answer is as simple
I analyzed
as
that information, and I ended up being wrong about the company.
Okay. So my answer is
That
this.
was a high probability, and I was really convinced.
Yep.
And I ended up being wrong.
And my answer is this.
See what I'm trying
Right?
to say? And I analyzed a very low probability company, bad balance sheet, and you know what I'm trying to say. And I reached the conclusion to decide whether it's trading below its intrinsic value, and ended up being good, and it was trading way above its intrinsic value, but I ended up being right. It was a bad decision, but I was right about the company.
My answer
even though
is
probability was low.
My answer is there are many factors and variables that you can't always control. And that is a play
Such as?
in the stock market. You can't control sentiments. You can
Or you cannot.
You cannot. When I say can't, I add a T at the end.
Yeah, you can.
You cannot.
Yeah, you can control sentiment.
You cannot control sentiment.
Depends who you are.
You can control sentiment as an investor. You can control sentiment. You can
I
control.
said depends who you are.
You can't control sentiment.
No,
we're talking
in general.
you.
I'm talking about you.
I'm not.
There are variables
Warren Buffett.
that you can't control.
Yeah, I cannot.
Okay.
Because I'm not Warren Buffett.
So
but
these
Warren
variables,
Buffett
these variables that you cannot
can.
control.
Warren Buffett can.
Well, even he is dwindling in popularity. So
He's famous,
when he does certain things, he don't really listen anymore. Anyway, you can't control variables in the market. You cannot control geopolitical indicators. You can't control weather patterns. So when investing, you work with what you can control. The exact same sentiments you can apply to the Bible as well and message of Christianity. What can you control? For example, you can control what you eat, drink, the decisions that you make, right? So those things that you can control, focus on them.
Okay.
And don't focus on things you can't control. Simple as that.
That's a good point.
Okay, guys. Talk to you next time, yeah?
Have a great time. All right, well, I was yelling at some Muslims, and then suddenly now one from the Muslim background came up to us, talking about speculation and how we are aware that anything is true. We didn't really get to dive deep into like epistemology or how we know certain things to be true or any kind of history about Jesus Christ. However, I think actually one of the interesting things about Christianity is it can attract people from all walks of life. And sometimes if you ever hear like testimonies of people, the most unlikely thing can actually bring them into the faith. So I tried my best to try to appeal to, because he seems to be a person that really values his job or investing. It's just like, he also makes it his personality. So if there's a way to maybe reach out to somebody, actually I forgot to mention that even Tash was full class as well. I forgot to mention that.
Yes.
But I should, if we're doing this thing again, we can do that one. But ultimately with him, the way he sees the world and speculates on things, I think there's a parallel to be drawn from the Bible in the same way. He gave investing a chance. In the same way, you can give the Bible a chance. But we'll see. We'll see if he uses.
This was quite interesting because everything is seen through the lens of investing.
Yeah.
As an investor who does analysis, you cannot convince me. I found that interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
He makes his job his personality. Some people do that. I try not to. So I mean, but I think even with that narrow worldview, there's still a way to reach out to him. Yeah. So that's why you mentioned when this conversation was like his door being knocked on his heart.
Yeah.
It could be the case, but someone like him must be humble enough to maybe actually read into something other than just say, oh, it's just a story, because like you can write off anything. Oh, investing is just gambling.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
no, actually, you can
No.
you can look further into it and actually see that there's more complexity.
Yes.
Into that subject matter.
Yeah.
Same thing exists with Christianity as well. But we'll see. I'm not here to convince anybody. Ultimately, you have to be convinced yourself, right? Like you said, that what you're following is true. And sometimes you need God's help to actually do that. So we'll see. It's up to him. He has free will. Up to him to decide if he wants to actually look into it or just carry on doing what he's doing. But also, you can tell he comes from a background like a Muslim background. Because he can say, I want to worship a man. Yeah.
Yes. We know where he's getting it from.
If I had to guess, the way he keeps talking about frontal cortex forming and 11-year-olds not making decisions, I think I know why he left Islam. Yeah. That's not something to do with a 6 and a 9. Yeah, likely.
Yeah. Because you would have problems with that.
Exactly. But
11, you're a man, you're an old man. At 11.
Yeah, you're a granddad at 11 in this context. But I mean, ultimately, what I was going to bring up as well, when he was sort of giving you flack for making a decision when you were 11, and said if he feels sorry for you. So what if you chose the opposite? Would he still feel sorry for you, or would he not feel sorry for you anymore?
No, because I think he's fighting is the spirit.
Yeah.
Because he's saying because you are with Christ, preaching about this thing.
You've been brainwashed.
There is something in there, you've been brainwashed.
Yeah. But then what if you just chose to be an atheist?
There's no problem with that. There's no problem with that.
See?
Say, even an 11-year-old gets it. So how come you don't get it? If I said I accepted atheism at 11, you say, listen, even the 11-year-old gets
understood it, yeah.
How come you, a 44-year-old,
you've been
brainwashed?
You've been brainwashed.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you
But
go.
you can't be brainwashed for being atheist. That's not possible. It's like a logical conclusion, you know.
So that's why the Bible says it's a war.
Yeah.
It's the spirit that you're fighting there.
Yeah.
So the spirit is responding to say, no, it's not possible. A human being at 11, you can make a decision whether to cross here or to wait until you get to the zebra crossing and cross.
Cross, yeah.
11-year-olds are trusted and they can go to school. They'll be making decisions all the way.
Yep.
But he chose to ignore that. And guess
Yep.
what? As a Christian, it's not capable. A Christian at 11 is not capable. Why?
Without being brainwashed.
It's because this thing is not fully developed.
You can still make decisions.
You can still make many decisions. Many decisions.
Exactly.
On your way to school.
Exactly.
And coming back.
I understand what he's saying, but I don't agree with the sentiments. It's that simple. And I feel as though he might come from a scenario where maybe he was hurt by his religion in some way. Because ultimately, all these guys are. That's why they were so angry.
Yeah.
But, you know, pray for him and see what does in his life, I guess.
What he did there, I enjoyed the conversation. Me, I was just here to listen until he approached me.
Do you think?
You planted a seed. And guess what happens to that seed? It grows.
Hopefully. We'll see.
Whether he does anything or not, the seed has been planted. If he was to travel to China, say maybe next week, and he hears Jesus and everything, he will remember this conversation here.
Hopefully.
This one, you cannot shut it. It
Yeah.
will grow inside of you, and every time Jesus is mentioned out there, it will connect to this conversation, and it keeps going and keeps going for the rest of his life.
Yeah, amen.
So we pray to God that seed grows.
I didn't even get his name, but you know, homeboy, you know.
Oh yes.
God knows his name.
That seed will grow. That seed will grow in Jesus' name.
Amen. Amen. All right, cool. Well, appreciate it. God bless. I have no idea whose camera this is. Whose cameras were whose? I don't even know what's going on. I ain't got a clue. Let me see. Yeah.
Who did they worship?
Now we don't know him.
Now
Was it the God with two right hands?
Did the Jews ever believe
Now we
that
don't
Jesus is the
know.
Son of
because
Allah?
of Trinity.
He said they never believed
The
that.
concept of Tawheed. Tawheed was made of.
No, don't leave towards me now. I don't like that.
Why not?
No, don't like that. Yeah,
oh.
no, don't do it, please. Yeah, say country, don't lean on me there. No. If you go to no, record yourself. Lamin.
Oh, God, Lamin. Laminator, come.
How many debates are having? This guy debate.
Laminator.
10 debates.
Laminator, please come.
He doesn't even know the concept of Trinity.
Wait, do you? Wait,
Do you know
wait,
concrete?
wait, do you?
I know. I can't.
Okay.
Do you know? He doesn't know.
Okay.
The Trinity, what the Trinity?
Wait.
They don't know.
Do you want to talk about
Wait.
Do you want to talk about Qur'an?
No.
Wait, Lamin, you mentioned
What is
that
Qur'an Allah Ahad? Ahad. Allahu Samad. What is Samad?
it means that Allah.
Can you read the Quran?
It means that Allah.
Read your Bible.
It means that Allah is made up of things.
So you believe? No. They believe in Trinity. Why does it debate me? You know, Athanasian Creed. They don't even know. Because of Trinity. I know it as a Muslim. They don't know.
Okay, there's just
They
one
don't know.
problem. There's one problem.
like to talk about the Quran.
The Athanasian Creed.
Only he wants to
Is
talk about
that before?
I thought you just said
after the Nicene Creed.
all he wants to talk about is
Lamin.
the Quran. No.
Lamin, I asked you a question. Lamin, what happened to the Muslims? Lamin, I thought the Muslims were brave. Yeah? So here, your friends here. Bring on the camera. Your friends here. Video him. Video him. Why not?
I debated with him several times.
Yes, do it another time. Do it another time.
Yeah, come on.
Wait, Laminator. Since when did the Muslims start running from me? Oh no, Laminator.
This guy talks.
Oh, you. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good, thank you, David.
Yeah, Wahi.
Sorry?
Wahi.
Wahi. Wahi. Yeah. What does that mean?
Revelation.
Oh, my bad. Wahi.
Wahi comes from the Waha oasis. But this is my family name.
Okay. Well, are you a debater or are you a spectator?
No.
Oh, then.
I'm just I used to come here to learn.
Okay.
And I learned lots of things when I started to come here.
Okay.
I talk about the things I'm knowledgeable about. If I'm not knowledgeable, I can. If you give me a new information, I can check about it.
Okay.
So what do you want to talk about?
Why aren't you a Christian? Why aren't you a Christian?
Why I'm not Christian?
Yeah. What stops you from being a Christian?
It's a big dilemma that you guys. You are not agree about the entity of God.
Okay.
And this is so clear in Islam.
Good. Sorry, I don't.
How to worship the only one God.
Okay.
This is one of the things.
What sort of credibility does Islam have coming hundreds of years later, far removed from the Christian and Jewish context that is trying to replicate, and then tell Christians and Jews how to worship God? You wouldn't follow Mormonism, which comes far removed from the Islamic context, far divorced from it, far later, but then tells you how to worship God. So why should I, as a Christian, even listen to a Muslim?
That's why I want to hear. Just think about Islam.
I have.
I know you personally.
Oh, you do? Okay, all right. I have, but I'm just saying generically, right? It comes later. Now,
those who read about Islam, why they are convinced, and why Islam is consistent. There is a reason for that. There is a reason behind it. The reason that they see this is the right thing.
Every religion, every major world religion,
will not accept that.
but every major world religion is growing. None are shrinking.
Not like Islam.
There's more Hindus today than there were 100 years ago.
But no, they are not growing like Islam, like Muslim. Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know
what I see and what I read, what I always read. The Islam is increasing more.
I don't know what mechanism you're using, but let's just say
how many Muslims are there now?
Well, the numbers. Well, don't forget the numbers that are given accumulate a wide group of people, some who you wouldn't even consider to be Muslims. For example, the Alawites in Syria are counted as Muslims.
They are Muslims.
Well, they believe that Ali is God. You believe that?
Not all of them.
Okay, but
and they are not. No, they don't believe he is God.
They do.
It's something different. No. And they don't believe that.
They drink wine.
Okay. We consider this is a sin.
Are they still Muslims?
But to me, they're still Muslims.
Okay, fine.
As long as they believe that there is only one God and Muhammad is his messenger, they are Muslim.
What if they believe that Ali is God?
Regardless what sins they are doing.
Okay.
How wrong they are thinking, they still Muslim. The Shia in Iran, still Muslim. We disagree in some points. I believe it is a political conflict.
Are you Sunni?
Yeah.
Well, you know that most of your.
I'm not calling myself somebody. You can't say.
Well, most of your Sunni scholars would.
The majority are Sunni.
Yeah, but most of your Sunni scholars would just say that the Shia are liars and they're mushriks, right?
No.
So do you know something better than your scholars?
First of all, not all of Shia, and even the Sunni scholars, they are not saying all Shia are disbelievers.
Which Shia do they accept?
All of them.
The Rafidi, the Twelvers.
As I told you, they don't. The Shia, they don't have one faith.
They have many. I mentioned two.
The Shia, they disagree. They disagree together. All of Shia are Muslims.
Okay.
Except some of them. We disagree. We have a big disagreement together. Those who believe that, for example, Ali is supposed to be the prophet instead of Muhammad. This is not wrong in our faith. This is not good, not right. In our faith, as majority of Muslims, we disagree with this. So in some just few points, but the others. The rest are okay. Just Muslim, but we disagree about small.
What about the fact that the Shia don't like Aisha, who is the mother of the believers, because they hold to the idea that because Aisha fought against Ali, and Muhammad said that anybody who's the enemy of Ali is an enemy of Allah.
Yeah.
Therefore,
this because of a conflict that we, as Muslim or followers. In these days, we have nothing to do with this conflict, what happened at that time.
Can you be a Muslim but then go against one of the mothers of the believers?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is wrong.
Yeah,
this is wrong, and they shouldn't,
would you still
be involved with this. This was a conflict about who killed the Khalifa, Osman.
Well, before that, I mean, the conflict is ultimately that Aisha wages a war against Ali. Wages a war against Ali. Ali defeats her, and she lets her go. The battle of the camel.
No. Yeah.
Battle of the camel.
Like yeah, that's not.
That's
true.
what happens.
No.
Wait,
you are mixing things.
Hold on.
This is not what happened. I can tell you
which part is wrong? Which part is wrong? Did Aisha not fight Ali?
She didn't fight Ali.
Really?
No, she disobeyed. Ali was the Khalifa.
Should I pull up?
Ali was the Khalifa. I'm telling you.
Okay.
You can do it.
No worries.
I'm telling you what happened. You are saying she went to fight Ali.
Yep.
No, she went to find those who killed Uthman. She went to find those who killed Uthman, and she was against those who killed Uthman. Ali was the Khalifa, and he said we shouldn't. Ali agreed with her party to find those and judge them.
The battle,
I know the battle
was fought between the largely Kufan forces of the 4th Rashidun Caliph Ali and the rebelling Umayyad led by Aisha and Zubair and Talha.
Why the battle started?
I'm not concerned with the origin of the battle. I'm just telling you that the battle involved Aisha and others fighting against Ali.
Yeah.
So
but
because
did she go
Shia,
intentionally for that?
Sorry?
Did she go to fight?
It doesn't matter if she went intentionally or unintentionally.
At the end, this what happened. The fight happened.
That fight could have killed Ali.
I'm telling you why the fight.
Or herself.
I'm telling you why the fight happened. Why the fight started. The fight started. She had a reason, and she was right about it. And Ali disagreed, and Ali was right about it. This was a conflict.
So they're both correct.
are trying to make against
Can I
Islam.
ask you a question?
Please.
In Surah An-Nisa, ayah 24 and 23, it tells you as a man who you can sleep with. It tells you as a man the people who you can sleep with. Yes?
What that means? What? Who are they?
Have sex with. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
If you said it properly, I will remember the verse.
In that group, you're allowed to sleep with sex slaves.
And who is this group? How is that group look like?
So the group is, it tells you who you can marry or sleep with and who you can't marry. Most of it is focused on who you can't marry. You can't marry your brother, or your sister, or your mother, or your father, or your uncle, or your auntie. But you can marry those who are not related to you, your first cousins, so the maternal, the son of your father's brother, or the daughter of your father's brother, your father's sister.
And I was like,
marry them,
JC, are you putting videos for me?
those who your right hands possess, which are slaves. So, even if that slave is married,
No, that's Islam.
even if that slave is married, they still have an obligation to sleep with the master. That's not equality. That's literal servitude, slavery, domestic movement.
No, this is a lie. This is a lie.
It's there in the Quran.
It says that even if they are married and they don't agree to marry the man,
No, not even that. If the slave is married to somebody, and they're owned by their master, they still have an obligation to not say no to their master.
Yes, at some point. Not the moment.
They have an obligation.
No, and then I'll do it, okay?
Yeah,
I
so if the
promise.
master
I
wants to
promise.
sleep with them,
I'll
they
try
have
and
no
do
right to say no. And to make it even worse, a man can be married to his wife and still sleep with a slave, but a woman cannot be married to her husband and sleep with her slave. That's not equality.
prove that.
Prove what?
Prove that if she doesn't agree.
It's going down.
I usually don't go.
I don't see you, by the way.
Yeah, cool.
It's normally down that way, and
Your
then
slave
keep going on the back, isn't it? That's the whole chain.
I forgot what the first was.
I'm telling you.
Oh, don't worry. I got something.
This is
So
one of the
literally, if I
lies
cross over
you
here,
guys are making
and then
to
I go
demonize
down
It's
to
in the
the
Quran,
and
man.
then change.
It's in the Quran.
There's a gate pub there.
Surah 24, ayah
Turn right
33.
at the gate pub.
Milk Yamin. What is Milk Yamin?
Those your right hand
Footlocker.
Okay. So literally, just to
corner
make
is a
sure, can you see this Q,
First of all,
Q
those-
the
who are
lunge,
those?
Q the lunge? If I go down next to
No,
it
how- do you
and
wear
turn
it?
left.
Yeah. Right here.
left,
So you don't know. So you don't know what it means.
Let me show you.
I'm telling you, and then prove
Yeah.
if I'm saying something wrong.
okay,
prove that I'm
just
wrong.
keep going that way.
Turn left at Footlocker.
Okay.
Milk Yamin or the right
Okay,
hand.
thank you.
And then
Thank
turn
you.
right.
Those
Thank you. Thank you.
women,
I'll take them and then move on. Thank you.
they are not normal women.
He was with you. As one
They are not normal women. For example, if the Muslim wanted to invade a country and there is a woman, so this is not cannot be. This is not. It is not acceptable to enslave the people who didn't fight. So the right hand possess or Milk Yamin, as I know, Milk Yamin, the women who came to fight you and you captured them. Because as Muslims you are not allowed to kill women, so we take them as Milk Yamin. This is the first point. Second point is that you are lying about. That's
I have to accept it.
I just want him to say it. Then.
No,
so the second point
because
is
off camera, you
they are
responsible. He was
not forced to marry the Muslim.
So,
They
without
are not
doubt,
forced.
I've not spoken.
They
I
have
did
many
not speak.
solutions to
My only doubt was
get
They only
themselves.
have- they only have three.
I can prove everything I'm saying to you.
Okay,
Prove it. Yeah, I can prove everything I'm
And
saying to you.
I don't.
Or
Yeah, I
you
think
try
that's what
to
he
prove me
struggled
to prove that I'm wrong. If I'm saying lies.
So they do not
Yeah,
understand that this is
So
in
those
their mind it
are not
was this is
forced
how
to
it
marry.
should be. And they're teaching that it's
The
got.
Milk Yamin.
But
Milk
what Timothy
Yamin,
is saying is,
granted, she can
that's
free
how it is.
herself
It's still
on
he's
something
preaching
called
this
the
heresy,
Mukataba.
and he's
Mukataba
inviting
means
followers
that
and
she
teaching
can
them the heresy. So do you want to
pay
propagate
a ransom to
you
free
say you
herself.
There's no money that's
And this, there, at least there is a law that to free herself, and this law all Muslims are following.
said that.
Okay.
Unless
So
they have
and
no
she
money.
can and she can
if
pay
you
it
said that
in
before, then even that's what
installments,
I would
in
have
parts.
earlier in
This
Christian
this
church. That's what
this
even I
runs.
would. Okay, so it was the father, but then
Show
why,
me
it's the
a
father who's
narrative
doing it now as
says
the son.
that
You know,
Benjamin
until you
has
study,
no choice
study, and you see the objections,
to-
and you see why
to
it can't be
accept
so. That's something which logically
this
people
marriage.
would think.
And I can show you the opposite.
Not even a marriage, just sleeping with them. Surah 24, ayah 33. And those who cannot afford marriage should keep themselves chaste until Allah enriches them out of His grace.
That's what I'm saying.
And
That's
those
the
of your
we don't believe
slaves
that.
who you wish to enter the contract of Ketaba, what you said, right? Emancipation by paying money.
That's
Yeah.
how you try to understand. You try to
Contract
understand
of
your work
Ketaba with them. If you recognize some good in them, so only contract them if you recognize good in them. If you don't, no. What? Let me finish. And give them out of the wealth of Allah that He has given to you. And do not compel your maids, it's actually slaves, but whatever. Yeah, right here. And do not compel your slave girls to prostitution if they desire chastity, to seek thereby the temporary interest of the worldly life. And if someone should compel them, then indeed Allah is after their compulsion forgiving. Do not compel your slave girl to prostitution. If they,
What does that mean to you?
so basically,
What does that mean to you?
okay, let me explain. David, do not punch people
You didn't come
in the
yesterday
face.
too.
No. So, do not punch someone in the face, for example.
No.
Because it was at the library.
Can I read
I'll
that?
speak to the
Go for
manager.
it.
And if they say that it's their policy that I cannot film, then fine, I will not put the I'm going to tell them that I'm not part of it. And I was filming.
إن أردنا تحصنا ضوء عرض الحياة الدنيا ومن يكرههن
Not yet.
Allah is merciful.
Michael Kingdom.
But when it says in the beginning, do not do this,
What about the remaining
this is
footage? Why don't
clear
you-
order.
I was going to
Do
do
not do
James
this.
Smith one, but
If I do the opposite, that means
Oh, you ready?
Normally in the Quran, when Allah tells you to do something, there's normally examples
not to do this.
We have examples, for
And
example, of
upload it to your channel
Muhammad,
after you give it.
like that.
No.
No.
And
You are
then
talking about
after
Maria.
that,
But what I
then
hear
after
from you, this makes my face really
Just
for the sake
reading
of
your
demonizing Islam. I will
Slave.
show you that, and if I did,
It called her a slave.
and if she was a slave. In the hadith, I will show you that
In that instance, when he was sleeping with her on the same bed as he did with his wives, was she
the
a
same
slave?
bed. So can you show
Or was
me
she
in
married?
hadith that it says in the same bed? So this is what I'm telling you. You guys,
Was
you're
she-
exaggerating
was
to
she
demonize Islam by any way possible.
Again,
This is what this is when they see you
running from
lying
it
to demonize the
because I've
other
shown
religion, the
you
people who
all
believe
of
in
the
Islam. That's
evidence.
why Islam is
But
consistent.
You haven't shown me anything.
Show you what?
Every time that we bring up a topic, I give you the evidence. I show
No,
you
you didn't.
I show you the
You didn't,
evidence.
and this is good that you are guys recording this, and if you are going to post this on YouTube, so the people will judge.
Okay, so I can do a
So
recap.
what is that? Yeah, recap about the evidence that
Sure.
you proved that I'm wrong. One of those.
You said,
And then we'll back again to that hadith.
You said that Ali and Aisha never had a fight. I showed you the battle.
Did I say that?
Yeah.
Okay, it is recorded.
I showed you the battle of the camel.
The source for in the bed.
Yeah.
Right, you read Arabic? Yeah. Right, this is Tabari's tafsir. I'm not sure exactly
That's what tafsir means.
Yeah, Tabari's
Explanation.
tafsir.
Explanation. I want the hadith.
Yeah.
Hadith.
It,
You know what
it's included
hadith?
in the tafsir.
You know what hadith?
You accept the tafsir?
No, but you know
Does the
what hadith
tafsir
means?
take the hadith?
It does.
and
No,
put it
no,
in
no.
there?
The tafsir it is a long.
Yeah, but the
a long
tafsir
thing.
will include
So
the
no,
hadith.
no,
if
show me
Tabari's
hadith,
tafsir
what I
says
follow.
it did it in the bed of one of the wives, you accept that?
No, I accept what?
Didn't you just
I
translate
accept
the
the
page?
hadith.
I did,
Okay.
but
I
if you
accept-
read Arabic then.
I accept authentic hadith. Hadith that
Is Tabari an authentic tafsir?
is a trusted source. No, tafsir is
Yeah,
explanation.
and the tafsirs
is
contain the
explanation.
hadith
But
to
what
give
is
you the
he
explanation.
explaining? What is he explaining?
He's explaining Surah 66:1, in which he
So what is the surah
he
says?
talks about how Muhammad was caught with
can you
Mary in
bring-
the bed of one of the
Can you
wives.
bring the verse itself?
Well,
Where it
you have a
says
phone?
where it says in the bit. But show me anyway.
Right, I can get the translation up here.
Oh, okay.
But you
let
read
me
Arabic?
it. No, let me read
Somewhere
it.
here maybe.
Yeah, I will show it.
Surah 66?
Yeah.
66
Well, why would you forbid for yourself what we have allowed or whatever it was? Yeah. So he's starting saying most of the scholars disagree about the type of halal. Halal means permitted. Okay? Because it was permitted, because he didn't accept it to have it as a wife first.
Right, but he tells you the story of what happened.
I'm telling you. So he didn't accept her as a wife first. So this verse came to give him. My point. Let me continue. That he was sleeping with a slave girl. So this verse came.
Do you want a hadith that says he slept with her while she was a slave?
No, there is no hadith saying that he slept. This story he's telling, because I heard it many times, and I tried to search that hadith.
So, the Messenger of Allah had a female slave with whom he had intercourse. Not a female slave whom he eventually married. He had intercourse while she was a slave.
So that's adultery. Where is the bed? And he's saying no. She agreed.
Great Sahih.
She agreed, and she converted. She became Muslim. She became Muslim, and then he married her. This is a marriage. This is not about.
It's a slave.
And also, slaves don't have an option to say no. She was a slave already. Because she was a slave already.
Does it say he freed her and then had intercourse, or does he say he had intercourse when she was a slave?
And slaves can't say no to their masters. So there is. Sorry? Slaves can't disobey their masters in Islam. So first of all, this is a story. This is not hadith.
This is hadith.
It is a hadith. Let me know what hadith means. Yes, it's the same. Okay, so this saying said by whom? What hadith I accept? Hadith, a saying said by the Prophet himself. Not just him, no, people around him. What, as we believe, the Prophet.
You don't believe the accounts of his companions.
The Prophet is anything he says by revelation. So I agree with anything. Not everything. So all other scholars, he can say something wrong or something right. Okay. So if you show me something in the Quran or something said by the Prophet, I will never disagree about it. This is what I'm.
And when we show you, when we show you Muhammad's companions writing down his actions, you say no, you don't trust it. You trust them when they record his words, but when they record his actions, you don't trust it.
This is a story. Who's Ibrahim ibn Yunus? He's not even a companion of that.
All right, so you don't trust
the first.
You don't trust Sunan an-Nasai where Darussalam says it's Sahih, no?
Who's Darussalam? Sahih according to who?
To Darussalam.
Sahih means what? Sahih means
strong,
authentic.
Authentic.
Okay, so authentic according to who?
Darussalam.
Who's that? Ask any Muslim who's Darussalam.
Yeah,
grader. So
like the number one.
No, so I may reject it. Because who I cannot. Wait.
No, so who is the most? How do you determine if hadith are good or bad?
Yeah, can I answer this? Can I answer this? One of the people who gathered the saying of the Prophet, some of them were trusted according to lots of measurements. Okay. I don't have to say how the you can search it. Okay, the most trusted, for example, Sahih al-Bukhari, Sahih Muslim. These are the most trusted.
Sunan an-Nasai also very well trusted.
Sorry,
this is Sunan an-Nasai also very highly trusted.
Musnad Ahmad,
not as much as Bukhari or Muslim, but
this is in Musnad Ahmad.
Sorry,
Musnad Ahmad gives the
and you say the scholars go through the method. Yeah, the scholars went through the method and graded this Sahih.
Yeah, so. Sahih, as I told you, Sahih according to
the scholars,
and even
Muslim scholars.
Anyway, I didn't read what it says here.
Right.
But I'm telling you, Sahih according to someone is reliable, I will accept it. If it's to someone not very reliable, I will not accept it. You got my point. So this is.
And is reliability based on whether you want to accept the story or not?
Sorry?
If the story is something you like, which makes Muhammad look good, you accept it. If it makes Muhammad look bad, you reject
like that. I didn't say that.
So what's your grounds for rejecting this? You reject Sunan an-Nasai, you reject the tafsir of Al-Tabari?
Reliable source.
Right. Sunan an-Nasai, graded Sahih by Darussalam,
some of the scholars, yeah. Even if you read for Al-Nasai is starting in his book saying that what I say, do not take everything I'm saying.
Right. But this one in particular is
saying
Sahih.
that.
But this one in particular is Sahih.
Sahih according to who?
Darussalam.
Who's Darussalam again? Ask him Muslim if no one knows him.
The Hadith graders.
Yeah, but
The
no one
authentic ones.
no one knows Darussalam. We know Bukhari, we know Muslim. They are, as I told you, they are very reliable, based on many things.
If I may, so Surah 66, Ayah 1. This is by Al-Jalal, by Al-Jalalain. This is his tafsir. O Prophet, of course, because you mentioned it before. O Prophet, why do you forbid what God has made lawful for you? In terms of your Coptic handmaiden, Maria, aka a slave.
Handmaiden.
When he lay with her in the house of Hafsa.
Yeah, how did he know that?
Well, calm down. Okay. Who had been away, but who upon returning and finding out became upset by the fact that he had taken, that this had taken place in her own house, on her own bed.
Yeah, but
by saying, she is unlawful for me, seeking by making her unlawful for you to please your wives, and God is forgiving, merciful, having forgiven you this prohibition. So, according to Al-Jalal, Al-Jalalain, sorry.
According to this, is explaining or interpreting
it was
a verse.
On the
what the
bed,
verse says.
It was on the bed of Hafsa, in her own house. So like I told you, in the Quran, in Surah 24, Ayah 33, you are allowed to force and compel your maids to prostitution. And where did Muhammad do this? Here.
Where is the forcement? Where is that? It
In
says
Surah
even,
24,
no,
33,
the Surah says
you
you are allowed. No.
It says don't do it, but if you do it, it's fine.
No, we are talking about this verse now.
No, this is me showing you an example of when Muhammad
did what?
Forced his maid.
Where is the force?
To have sex
where
with
it
him.
says he forced her?
Is this so?
Why you are lying?
Is it consensual?
Where it says
Is
that?
it consensual? As a handmaiden, can you say no to your master within Islam?
Where is that? No, not in Islam.
There
not
you
in
go.
Islam.
There you go.
No,
then.
not in Islam. I
There
can
you
show
go.
you. I can show you authentic hadith showing that you are not allowed to enforce your slave. You are not allowed to enforce.
Show me that.
Yeah.
Show me that.
Yeah.
Show me a hadith that says that you cannot force your slave.
Definitely.
Because that's exactly what happened here.
Of course.
And the Quran disagrees.
Yeah.
The Quran says don't do it, but you can do it.
How is that? When is that?
Surah 24, Ayah 33. Do not compel your handmaiden into prostitution, but if you do, Allah is
So when
forgiving.
it says clearly in the beginning of the verse, do not, and I do, what that means?
It doesn't mean anything.
You want it so, you want to understand it so. It
doesn't-
says clearly, do not.
If you'd let me,
don't.
It says do not, but it carries no punishment if you do. So if I said don't steal, but offer no alternative punishment for stealing, then you can steal.
No, it's not saying that. It
That's
says
exactly what it
don't.
said.
It says don't. At the end of the verse, Allah is forgiving and merciful.
And I'm sure if you know the
that
Quran,
means if you don't know the law, or if something happened before the law comes, Allah is forgiving and merciful. But it says so
you're wrong
clear.
about that.
Do
You're wrong about
not.
that. So
do not.
Ironically,
what do not mean?
What you
what
mentioned,
do not mean?
So what you mentioned about if it was done before in the Quran in Surah 4 and Ayah 23, it states that you cannot marry two sisters unless you had already married them before the revelation came.
No.
It does say that. It does say that.
It
does say that.
According to your understanding.
It does say that.
No.
So
No, إلا ما قد سلف.
the reason why I bring that up exactly. The reason why I bring that up is because when Allah wants to specify that this thing is no longer allowed from this point on, He says so. But you've added that to Surah 24, 33.
Bro, you're lying. You're lying. There is no in Islam. In my face, let me say this. In my face,
okay.
We are not allowed to force any woman to marry. We are not allowed to
Can we
do
go
that.
to the pub? Let me buy you a drink and we carry
I
on.
have my bike.
Oh, you okay, fine.
we are not allowed to force any woman to marry anyone.
You can.
In my face.
Yeah, you can.
I can prove it by prove me.
Are you
if I'm
here
wrong.
next week?
Anyway, this is
next week?
recorded. I will be here
Okay.
next week.
That's
And also, the woman, even if she's married and she doesn't want this man, she can do khula. She can request to separate, so they can be divorced.
Request.
Yeah, because the man who do you have a divorce in your religion? Do you have a divorce?
She can request. She doesn't
Is it
have,
allowed?
She doesn't have the same
No.
divorce rights as
If the man is abusing a Christian woman,
she doesn't have the same.
is he
May I speak? May I speak?
Is she allowed?
May I
No,
speak?
let me continue.
May I speak?
Let me continue
May I
the question.
speak? All right.
Is she allowed
Keep
to
going,
ask
keep
for
going.
divorce?
Keep going.
This
Keep
is my
going.
question. Answer.
Right. So in Islam, women do not have the same divorce rights as the men, and furthermore, you can always choose to not marry your slave, in which case they have no rights whatsoever. They can't deny you sex.
Yeah. The man is allowed immediately.
Whatever he wants with the slave.
But the woman, no.
Yes.
The woman
That's
is
Islam.
not allowed to immediately divorce.
If she's a slave,
Yeah.
she doesn't
No.
have any rights.
She may. No. There is a judge. There is a judge. There is a
If
rule.
she's a slave, what's the rule?
There is a rule everybody follow. Even if she's a slave.
what's the rule?
Even if she's a slave.
If she's a slave, she can say no.
I'm telling you. I'm
Can a slave say no?
Nope,
Yeah.
they can't.
A slave can say no.
Yeah.
They have no right to say no.
For marriage,
Show me that from the
for
Quran or
marriage,
Hadith.
she cannot say no. She can say no. She can
You've
can
not
reject
given the evidence
the
for
marriage.
it.
For marriage.
Please bring
No.
me
For
sexual
marriage, she
intercourse.
can reject this.
Not for that. For
She
for sexual intercourse, she say no. She can't.
No. For marriage, she can.
I said sexual intercourse.
I'm telling you, she can.
Marriage
Why
and
why
intercourse.
do you have to keep googling?
Marriage and intercourse. are
This
two
is
different
recorded anyway. I told you this is recorded. There is no.
It is recorded.
Yeah. It is
is
no.
recorded.
They are not forced. They are not forced to marry.
I said
Even
intercourse.
Even the slave.
Intercourse.
Okay. So
Can the slave be forced
you didn't answer
into
my
intercourse?
question. You know, if a man is
Can the
abusing,
slave be forced into intercourse?
you didn't answer my question.
Right.
I
feel
told
like
you
haven't
no.
answered any question.
I told you no.
Can
So-
you bring any evidence for that?
Yeah, I can.
Please do.
In your,
Yeah.
in your,
Please do.
I
okay,
think
I
they-
will.
I'm
In
not
your
sure they went through that
Christianity,
already.
if a man is abusing his wife, is she allowed to ask for
Because I
divorce?
think that's essential for
Women have the same rights to divorce as men, and we don't have sex
Where
slaves
is that?
who can say no.
Where is that? Can they divorce?
Show me where the
If-
man
if
has
the
more
man,
rights.
No. What
Especially
everybody
over the
knows.
slave.
What
We cannot
everybody
sleep
knows
with the
in
slave.
Christianity.
So there's no.
They cannot divorce. Everybody knows in Christianity.
But we cannot sleep
they
with the
cannot
slave.
divorce. If the man is abusing his woman,
So
they
Christ
cannot
tells
divorce.
us
She
that
must
God
stay
hates divorce
with the abuser.
because
No,
she must
she
stay.
can
But in
separate.
Islam,
She can
in
separate.
Islam, she will
That's
go to
not-
the judge,
that's
and
not
the judge
true. That's not true.
will
There
force
was a woman-
the man to divorce.
there was a woman-
So this is in
There's a
Islam. That's
hadith
why
where
I
there's a
believe
woman-
Islam is more consistent.
That's a lie.
No, no,
Islam
no,
is
no,
better
I
than
can show you a
Christianity.
hadith
That's
Anyway,
where a woman was
David.
being beaten by her husband. She goes to Muhammad, and Muhammad tells her that she cannot divorce him until she sleeps with him first.
She's what?
So, a woman married a man, divorced a man, married another man who started to abuse her, but hadn't yet slept with him. The woman goes to Muhammad and tells him that she's being abused by her next husband, who she has not yet slept with. Muhammad tells her that he cannot divorce her, or she cannot divorce him, until she sleeps with him first. So, the example you just gave is literally in Islam. So in Islam, if you divorce somebody and marry another man and he's abusing you, you cannot divorce him until you sleep with him.
Is it
And
visible on the
furthermore,
camera?
On the topic of abusing
is it
wives,
It's
Aisha
right.
says
It's just
no
right.
woman suffers like a
I wanted
Muslim
to show this.
Give the reference. Call the reference out. Call it out.
Because it's Arabic and
Call the reference out.
I'm not very good in English to say. لا تنكح
No,
البكرة
call the
حتى-
reference out first and then read.
I don't see the reference now. You guys, you know the numbers, but I know that was, as I told you, the authentic hadith. This is what I rely
Alright,
on.
it's the same one.
So لا تنكح البكرة حتى تستأذن ولا تنكح الثيب حتى تستأمر. The meaning, according to my translation. No, because I told you this is Arabic, and my English is not very good.
It's pretty good.
But it's not very good to translate everything. Anyway, so I said it in Arabic. So those who understand Arabic, they can correct me if I'm wrong. It is not allowed for the virgin to marry until she gives the permission. And even a thayyib.
But Muhammad says that silence is consent.
Yeah, silence is consent. Yeah, right.
No, Muhammad didn't say that.
Because Aisha didn't give consent.
This is not hadith.
This is hadith.
No, this is not hadith. ولا تنكح الثيب حتى تستأمر. Even the old woman is not allowed or is not
So what
permitted
authority is this?
to get married.
Yeah, well,
What authority is this?
free women,
Who's
not
this?
slaves.
What is that?
Who's this that is saying? Who's saying
These are all
this?
free women. This is
This is hadith. The Prophet himself, he says this.
But what's the reference?
The reference
Who's
is...
the chain? What's the chain of narration?
Yeah,
Sahih
al-Bukhari. Sahih al-Bukhari and Sahih Muslim both. The most authentic hadith.
This is hadith.
This is what I'm saying.
This is hadith.
So you see, when I give an information, I give it supported with an evidence, authentic hadith. Not giving
let me support this claim.
Reference
with
number.
hadith,
Yeah,
right?
okay.
It's in Bukhari, or this one's in Muslim, and it's a saying of Muhammad.
Okay.
What does he say?
Yeah.
A woman without a husband has more rights to her person than a guardian, and the virgin's consent must be asked from her, and her silence implies her consent.
So, in the
silence is her consent?
Yeah. So, she gives the permission herself.
And then another hadith, the same one.
By remaining
not
silent.
speaking?
And of a virgin by silence, that's her consent.
Yeah, but if she refuses, do you force her? Does that mean that is that
her consent being her silence? Her silence is her affirmation.
Wow.
Yeah.
As if maybe she should stick
You guys are so smart, even smarter than the people who have this narrative,
probably,
and those who were in doubt. The people who were new to this religion, and the people who were in doubt, and wow, yeah, you guys.
We probably are because
we
have like a formal education.
Anyway, it is crystal clear.
Okay.
Silence is consent. Slaves have no ability to deny.
Let's wrap up.
What it says in the beginning, the hadith. In the beginning of the hadith, she's not forced. She must give the permission.
Okay.
And if she doesn't give any,
she must give the permission. This is so clear. She must give the permission.
I'm telling him to wrap up. Let's wrap up because you want to give your closing statement and then let him give his closing.
Bottom line,
You want to give your closing statement.
There are issues that he's unwilling to actually address around slavery and the mistreatment of women. And unfortunately, he needs to go home and watch the video.
Good talking to you.
We can carry on next
Sunday.
Next week.
Yeah.
Inshallah.
Bring evidence, please.
I don't accept anything without evidence.
The biggest difference, we're talking here about unmarried slaves. You're talking about marrying free women.
Yeah.
And earlier you said that Islam makes everyone equal. Yeah. And my rebuttal is, no it doesn't. Because you can't have free married women being given certain rights and those same rights are being given to slaves.
Yeah.
That's not equality.
If the slave has the right to reject, that means they are equal or not?
The slaves can't reject, actually.
It's according to you, according to your law.
I can show it to you.
But the slaves in Islam, they eat what we eat, and they get dressed what we get dressed.
But
this is in Islam, and what I'm telling you is also supported with hadith, with evidence.
Here's the problem. For example,
so that's why they're equal.
Free women wear hijabs. Right?
Yeah.
Now you said earlier that you eat what they eat.
Yeah,
and
talk about hijab.
But a slave woman can't wear a hijab. So very clearly, they don't wear what you wear. Clearly.
So the slave woman is not allowed to wear hijab?
Yes, they are not allowed.
Absolutely wrong.
I can show you.
Absolutely wrong.
I can show you a hadith
100%
where
wrong.
Umar himself took off a hijab.
Absolutely. Anyone does that is wrong.
Umar did it.
If he did it, he's wrong.
According to who?
If he did it, he's wrong. According to the religion, because the woman is ordered to be decent and to cover
women.
All the women.
72
No, all the women.
So
all the women.
Wait, but this is
all the women. They are equal.
No,
What kind of
Sahih.
Muslim are you
Sahih.
if you're going to say that the actions of the best generation of Islam are wrong?
No, I'm not saying that.
You said,
saying
you said
he'll be
if
wrong.
Umar did it,
No,
he's
I'm
wrong.
saying he might make a mistake.